Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Tara will not be joining us today.
I saw.
Good thing I decided to play Wolfenstein instead of another day of Super Robot Wars.
So I'm gonna put this into the general chat here, but after messing around with some parts and reassembling the Strike Rouge version of the Ale Striker pack, I have now the Strike Gundam Rouge Hero of the Skies episode original broadcast version.
Okay. I'll take a look at it in just 1 second.
What happened in universe is that Kira basically borrowed the Strike Rouge in order to get to the ship with his actual new Gundam,
Ah.
and the Striker pack it was equipped with was different depending on the version you're watching. In the original broadcast version, the Strike Rouge had been equipped with the Ale Striker the entire time, but in the master version, they swapped it out for the Utori Striker, which doesn't have an HD counterpart. Closest we have is the Build Strikes booster.
Ah.
Now, I describe this as the Hero of the Skies version because when he borrowed the Strike Rouge, he had to change its settings in the cockpit to match what his piloting needs to be, and in turn, this altered the colors of the phase shift armor. You could tell it was still the Strike Rouge because it still had his sister's symbol on the shoulder and the green eyes and cameras, as well as the Strike Rouge's Tail Striker and Shield, which I'll still have to find that shield later.
Alright. Also, if you hear a
But
wind tunnel,
otherwise,
it's because I have my fan on full blast.
uh, otherwise it was visibly identical to the original Strike because of those spaceship armor settings.
So, for those of you who don't know, um, there are some wildfires happening up in Canada right now.
We had a couple in Jersey a few days ago.
And
Pretty
apparently, the
cool.
smoke is so bad that it has crossed over the border into the United States and has reached my state. It is drastically like it's changed the air quality for the worst. So my mom said to just close all the doors, close all the windows, turn on fans or AC if you have to. Just don't let the smoke in the house. Last thing we need is for me or Bradley to have an asthma attack.
Understandable. Um, on a more positive note, I think I showed you that custom build strike I made just before I built the new one.
That's the wrong controller.
What I'd done with that one was I took the side skirts of my spare Impulse Gundam, glued them on underneath where the beam sabers would go for the standard build strike, and gave it a just custom paint scheme overall.
Okay.
Different shade of blue, different shade of red, some nice metallic gold to give it the real grade feel on each of the joints, as well as on the V-fin. And in the
Nice.
case of V-fin, I've noticed the way it was designed, I swear it would have looked better if it had been like the half white, half yellow slash gold color scheme that the original Strike had. So I decided to remake it. Yawning right now. Ugh. I hate when you wake up and like yawns every 3 seconds.
Dude, like, for me, like, I wake up and, like, it'll be, like, halfway through the day and I'm still fucking yawning.
Anyways, let's stop this time. This was the
Die, Poochie! Sorry.
As I was testing out the custom colors thing going on here, I thought, let's see how that Beastman actually would look like if it was color separated like the original Strike Beastman, since Bill Strike antenna is all yellow, or would have been gold in my custom color version. And you know what? Actually, I think it looks better with the white and gold instead of just the all one or the other.
Okay.
Like, give me a moment and I'll have it right next to my Hero of the Sky strike to show you what I mean. And I'll
Alright.
get the standard build strike to finish that off.
Well, I'm still fighting Nazis, so...
The other project I had going on was that I am going to look through what I have left and scavenge any and all remaining parts of 00 Sky drives that I have lying around. I still have 2 left. And I'm going to make a freaking twin drive striker pack. I
Okay.
already have a single GM drive as a striker pack, and it was a simple thing to do. I want to see if I can make one with 2 drives. Now I'm just going to take this pack back. Also, I'm just going to say right now, I've got a running joke with people about like the Cure of the Skies episode. Hey sis, can I borrow your Gundam for a bit? Okay, just don't wreck it.
Yeah.
10 minutes later. It's missing both legs and its right arm.
The fuck did I say? Oh, we got some propaganda posters. Let's take a look here. Stay in line. We will maintain order. Curfew. 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day,
You're
no
lucky
exceptions, effective immediately. Respect the curfew. Do not move around at night, or your safety
that she
cannot
had
be
the
guaranteed.
account.
Hmm? What'd you say? You cut
back
you cut out there.
on. Yeah, it's actually a mobile suit.
You were cutting in and out there, like almost sounding like a robot. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Latios is having technical difficulties right now. Hello? I heard a click noise.
My internet got weird for a bit.
I figured as much because like you were cutting in and out like crazy.
The big easy. Can't undo your tragedy.
I was just gonna try to show you in the
people responsible.
in our Facebook thing what I was talking about with the V-fins. But then my phone decided to derp out like for several seconds straight.
That happened to me yesterday or last night when I was in a call with some friends from another Discord. One of them fell asleep and like his phone was just barely like picking up his snoring. So it was kind of faint, but it was also like just loud enough for my ears to pick up, so it was like super annoying and like um uncomfortable. And as I'm trying to hang up, my phone just says the system UI is not responding. Please close app. And I'm like, okay, that should shut everything down. I hit the button. It doesn't shut everything down, and I'm forced to listen to the guy snoring for several more minutes before I can go back into Discord and then close the call.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Alright, so what am I looking at here?
They're V-fins. On the far left is the standard build strike and how it's normally set up. On the far right is basically your standard strike setup, and in the middle is my custom version.
Okay.
No disrespect to the solid yellow V-fin of the build strike, but I feel like adding the extra white there really it does it a lot of favors. It does it a lot of favors. Work for it.
Oof.
Bless you.
Thank you. Oh man, don't tell me they just executed a bunch of people. Now you all gotta die. I'll take that gun. Anyone left? No? That's fast.
Looks like I got a shortcut through this building.
Okay, I need some health. Ow! I'm just covered in blood and viscera.
powered up that overhead crane.
Probably switching to the other network will work better.
Oh, did your phone freak out again?
Yeah, the internet it's connected to says connected, but no internet access.
I fucking hate it when it does that.
It's been doing that a lot more frequently in the last couple of years. Like the last 3 or 4 years especially, it's happened like every few months. Sometimes multiple times in 1 month.
Yes.
A couple of times happened at least once at night for a week.
That sucks.
It eventually sorts itself out, but like I'm assuming there's some. I'm assuming the smoke crap and whatever else is going on, that's got something to do with the internet being all wacky.
Probably. I mean, it might.
Okay, now the stream's working. I have to exit Discord and come back in a little later. Not exit Discord, exit. Yep. You know what I mean, Twitch.
Yep.
You can tell it's so late.
Alright, so far I have powered on this overhead crane and I need to get to it. But I'm also exploring because I need resources. Ammo, armor, health, upgrade kits.
So I had mentioned this with you and Burb before, but the distant future of the Transformers story I'm working on, since I've got the Mass Effect stuff happening. When we actually get to the point the Mass Effect games would be happening, we will be following Commander Orion Shepard.
Okay.
And there's a reason I picked that name.
Because it sounds cool.
He's got a particular red mask tattooed on one shoulder.
Oh. Orion.
He's named for his great grandpa. What can I say?
That's... Yo, that's awesome.
William, we are moving on from the tower now. Mines are disabled, and Fergus is scouting ahead. Just had a big fight with the Nazis. Barely made it. William? Don't know if this is normal, but I think the pregnancy is making me a little, you know, excited. Oh God, is everyone listening in on this frequency? Yes.
Yes. Back sauce.
Alright, you're saying? Latios? Ruh-roh. Still there, buddy? Looks like he's having more technical difficulties. Okay, I will be right back, folks. I gotta go take my meds. Alright, I'm back. And Latios does not seem to be. Oh well.
Trapped. Looks like I gotta blast my way out.
That didn't really do much, did it? Oh, there's a hole down here.
Sounds like someone is putting up a fight.
Latios? think that thing should be flying.
Yes, streets are quiet.
Now that's the professor. She got them eyes, can see a speck of dirt in a cow's ass off 100 yards. I tell you, them goddamn Nazi son bitches coming here, we gonna shoot their asses out. I tell you what, going out in a blaze of glory, hallelujah!
We got a lot of good people here. You should join us. We could always use more good people.
How you reckon to start this revolution of yours, Terror Billy?
Terror Billy?
Holy shit, it's him.
Didn't that Nazi bitch kill you?
Seems our friend here kinda told St. Pete to go fuck himself.
When the grass house or walking this.
I know who he is. Damn it. Here they come. Paris, I'm feeling a little jittery. You mind taking the edge off?
Let me see what I can do about that.
You know, my ma always said, never trust a man can't handle his whiskey. So you sit right down, said Terror Billy, and drink up.
What in the world the fuck is this shit?
Old Horton special.
Goddamn.
Now listen, Terror Billy, I respect your ambition, but there's nothing can be done no more. The world has sank into the crapper, and all we can do now is drink this whiskey and watch the vortex suck it all down.
Didn't expect your belly to be quite so young.
We've been fighting for a revolution since long before them Nazis came. We were the first to start building a civil rights movement that advocate equality for everyone. You know the concept of civil rights, Terror Billy? No, you don't. You're just a jarhead, ain't you?
Buddy, I laid my life on the line for freedom, justice, and the American way, while you and your bohemian friends were passing out Bolshevik propaganda and opposing the draft on every street corner. What good is your fucking equality? You can't muster the backbone to stick up for your people while the coyote's scratching at your front door.
We stood up against the imperialist war machine in the United States of America and the greedy money men of Wall Street who was itching to send the children of the proletariat off to die in foreign lands so that they could be filling their coffers. It weren't their sons bleeding on the beaches. No, they drafted people like you for their dirty work while they was watching the dollars roll in. You're the Paul, the patsy, cankerous men in Marble Mansion. Well, I've seen through that shit. Decided not to be a party to it.
And here you are, guns in hand, shooting Nazis, just like me. Difference is you come late to the party. Perhaps your kind had gotten their asses in gear, we'd have won the war.
Don't spill that shit on the table, or they leave right through.
This'll get you drunk, Terror Billy. You upstanding lackey to the establishment, G.
Listen, pal, I ain't got time for your
Adios.
horseshit. You gotta make the call. Give up and die or step the fuck up.
Ain't wanting to argue with you, Terror Billy. Too tired to fight.
You tired? Then fuck you. I got
Hello.
kids on the way.
Hello.
And I'll be damned if I'm gonna raise them in a world run by these Nazi assholes.
Just wondering
What's
what
it
happened
gonna
to
be?
you.
You hillbilly,
And I got pulled into a conversation.
degenerate moonshiner, Bolshevik cowards, goddamn traitors.
I can say this much. If I altered history to have servers, or at least the beginnings thereof, appear that much earlier in a Transformer versus Mass Effect crossover timeline, I can already see the kind of shit they'd be pulling to get one over on the bots. Of course, I
Let's
couldn't
start
do
this
humans
revolution.
humans have been adopted by cyber authorities.
Harris been working on this puppy for over a
Necessarily
month
the way
now.
I pay was already doing
Pop
so.
hood, pull
If
some
that's
lines,
the
that
case.
about it.
He's quick learning, Paris. Always figures out
Right.
what's what.
I can imagine though that
You're gonna ride it,
Probably
cowboy.
more
Yes,
like
sir. You're
a
gonna
human
ride
family
on
has
out there, draw
adopted
some
one or
Nazi
more
fire
process
while we make our
honorary
way down
family
to the
members
harbor with all
hers,
those who
that's like a
survived the
diplomatic
purge.
thing going on.
All
Yeah.
hinges on
I can imagine like
showing up.
Cerberus would like
Be there.
be researching headmaster technology in an attempt to control the Cybertron.
Oh, easy now, easy. There you go. Just mind the temper.
Look, you better get up here. Nazis swarming in like flies on shit.
Check. All set there, Billy. Now again.
Oh my god, I am on one of the giant Panzer Hounds.
See what this puppy can do.
There's something else I can see Cerberus doing for going on with like a headmaster style tech. Not will. Cerberus did something to tamper with the Autobot means of producing energon. Their solar power towers, their hydro energon plants, etc.
Right.
Essentially doing what the Nebulons did in the Generation 1 Marvel Comics. Effectively poisoning the energy supply, only to then show up with Power Master technology, which allows them to filter the energy to keep the Autobots living, and use that as a means to control the bot. We control your only means of staying alive, serve us.
Yeah, I can see that happening, and I can see the Decepticons being like, okay, hold on.
Like, I can act, if that's the case, I can see, like, Starscream leading the Cybertronian things that used to be Decepticons, but just simply refer to themselves as Cybertronians now.
Okay.
Only whoever leads the Autobots aside, be it Optimus or Rodimus or whoever's in charge at the moment, going, what have they got on you? What are they doing? This is not right. This is not natural. What are you doing?
And then whoever the leader is, like, tells Starscream, and he's like, alright, I got a guy. Yo, Shockwave!
You know what? I think I know a bot who can help. Communicator first. Shockwave, I need you on my coordinates page as soon as possible.
Like, if anyone could reverse engineer Cerberus tech, it would be Shockwave.
I'd say possibly Wheeljack too, but I basically hit the fact that Wheeljack is dead, so...
Yeah. Also, like, even if Wheeljack could, the question is, would. Because this would, like, what I'm thinking is Shockwave takes the technology that Cerberus is using to hold the Autobots hostage and tampers with it so that the Cerberus agents that have the Power Master technology, instead of the Autobots having to rely on them to survive, it's the other way around.
I can already see the bickering that comes from that.
Like whoever the Autobot leader is like rightfully pissed, and Starscream has like his face in his palm, and he's like, "Oh my god," or "Oh my Primus," or whatever, and Shockwave is just sitting there like, it was the only logical solution. I don't know why you're upset. It was the only course of action that seemed appropriate.
It was only logical to turn the tables on me. I do not understand why you're upset with this.
Like,
because we could end up sparking a war with humankind that we don't need.
despite the fact that the war is over, Shockwave is still a mad scientist.
Like, Shockwave is still Shockwave. There's
He-
no other description.
I can think of one, considering the game I'm playing. But I don't know how bad that would be.
That's why I just describe him as himself.
I was gonna hold on. Let me just.
I don't understand. Yeah, that sounds like something Shockwave would do. I'm a bit creeped out now. I understand your comparison, though. I'm sure several of the demons there got his autograph before they fed him into the torture chamber.
I just realized I muted myself, but not you, so they only heard like half the conversation.
That's why I closed the stream.
Well, no, because we're on the voice call, they would still hear you.
Well, at least I didn't refer to anything by name.
Yep.
Suffice to say, people, horrible, horrible human being. In a group of horrible human beings. And I saw a lot of Shockwave in the way the dude was described.
Yep.
No wonder some Autobots look at our history and go, are these people even worth saving?
Yeah. Yeah. It is rightly fucked up. Anyway, moving on. Right, Power Masters.
So, in the original Marvel comics, the Power Master technology was described as a sort of auxiliary engine to allow fellow Cybertronians to process energy that otherwise they could not utilize. As the planet Nebulos had all of its energy sources poisoned to weaken and kill Transformers who attempted to refuel, so it was either starve or just poison yourself till you die. Power Masters were there to act as a sort of filter and backup battery to keep Cybertronians running.
Alright.
The Nebulons who were sympathetic to the Autobots and or Decepticons and wanted to keep them alive. Optimus Prime was arguably the first Power Master. And here's why. So, remember way back when killed himself over a video game?
Yeah.
His mind was saved on a floppy disk, standard 10-inch floppy.
I remember Linkara talking about that.
Well, eventually, the Autobots discovered this and acquired the floppy disk, and Goldbug brought it to Nebulos so Optimus could have a body built and his minds downloaded into it. Because, having known Optimus for so long, he knew Optimus would prefer however fleeting a life he was going to get, even with the inevitability of dying mere minutes after activating, to living essentially in a purgatory, reliving a life he didn't know he had. Optimus thought he was a video game character on that disc.
Yeah.
When he was rebuilt and downloaded into the body, he expressed gratitude. He was appreciative of the chance at life, however fleeting. And this appreciation touched the hearts of several Nebulons who were present for the activation. One in particular, a scientist who would later go by the name High-Q, developed the Power Master technology in a hurry to keep Optimus alive. Because of how so much Optimus appreciated this chance at life, however brief. And more so, the inevitability of death and how that just makes life all the more sweet. To know, yes, it's finite, it can end, so savor it while you can.
A reminder that we often need need like every now and again.
Here, this robot, this Cybertronian that up to this point hates Nebulons and considered emotionless war machines, expressing this kind of sentimentality towards the concept of living and how the other Autobots were reacting, trying to get him to stay with them for as long as they could. That's why High-Q developed the Power Master tech, and willingly became the first Power Master, binary bonding to Optimus Prime to keep him alive.
That's amazing.
Eventually, other Nebulons stepped up, willingly binary bonding to other Autobots, so they could stay alive on Nebula and attempt to work out something diplomatically to get the planet to realize they're not all bad. They're not all bad. And then some less moral characters stole the technology and basically sold it to the Decepticons.
Of course.
Because they wanted to rule their own planet and stop the Decepticons as a means to an end to do it. And that's how the Decepticons got Power Masters.
I'm honestly not that surprised. Someone would see it. Revolutionary technology that could help save multiple people. Stolen and repurposed for greedy sons of bitches.
This is like a sort of similar case to how the Headmaster and Target Master tech was developed in their universe too. In the case of the Headmasters, the group that would eventually become the Autobot Headmasters, as an attempt to show, we mean you no harm, we come in peace, they made a display of how much they are willing to submit to the will of the Nebulons if it means being able to get their shit together and survive on this planet prior to the fuel poisoning. They basically detached their own heads and left their bodies immobile, let the Nebulons do whatever they felt was necessary with these guys.
Oh.
Some Nebulons felt some degree of pity, empathy, whatever else, and converted the heads into exosuits to wear and allow the Autobots essentially a foot in the political door. Because now they're binary bonded to Nebulons, which means they have just as much say in Nebulon politics as any pure Nebulon.
Right.
Again, this was taken and appropriated by the Decepticons.
As always.
It's kind of funny. At least the cartoon made the Nebulons green to distinguish them from humans, because they might as well have been on Earth as far as the comics were concerned. The culture looked slightly different, but the Nebulons were still very human-like. Almost indistinguishable physically from humans.
So, like Star Trek.
Basically. Now, back to the whole Power Master tech thing. There were some drawbacks. Power Masters, especially particularly the Nebulon partner, or just the organic component in general, they had to eat a lot to keep up their own energy because, again, they're effectively a living battery now.
Right.
They did get some boons in the form of, like, I think they got some degree of super strength and whatever else the exosuit could provide. But for the most part, they were just fuel filters and batteries for the larger box. And being the very first Power Master, IQ on Optimus Prime ended up showing a particular side effect that was never planned for. Binary bonded individuals, especially ones as closely paired as Headmasters or Power Masters, tend to have their personalities bleed into each other.
Oh.
When Optimus Prime dies a second time, stopping Unicron from destroying Cybertron, IQ began to freak out, claiming he was Optimus Prime and frantically attempting to build a new body. And effectively became the Action Master Optimus Prime.
Anya. Come in, Anya. Do you read?
William, I read you.
What's happening? You okay there, darling?
When you're connected in body, mind, and soul, there are consequences.
Yeah. That does remind me, like, it's not really brought up a whole lot in Ultraman, but in, like, some fan stories, there is, because of Ultraman bonding with a human, usually one who's dying,
What's your status?
there's, usually some sort of, like, bleed-through effect where the host starts to see memories of the Ultra. It's not really brought up in the show, because it's a kid's show. I doubt they would be able to explain that kind of thing to kids. But in a lot of stories, that tends to happen. Like in a lot of fan stories, that tends to happen. Like in the Godzilla Evangelion fanfic that I like called Leviathan, Shinji will sometimes see flashes of his Ultra's past. Like in one version of the story, he had he had a brief glimpse of Ultraman, like on his knees, battered and bruised, his color timer beeping, surrounded by smoke, fire, and debris, as you could hear three chilling screeches that almost sounded like bell chimes. Ghidorah.
So I can see, like back to the track I was on.
Sorry.
With the way Power Master has worked, I could see like some Cerberus operatives actually rethinking their stance on cyberchroning things and coming around, while others have doubled down and only see it as a means of controlling the bot because they're putting so much in, they gotta get something back out.
I like to imagine those are the ones that Shockwave messes with.
If it's still Optimus Prime leading the Autobots at the time, I can see whatever equivalent of the elusive man is here for this Proto-Cerberus specifically wanting Prime as his partner.
Yeah.
Whether or not he actually gets Prime as his partner is another matter.
Fergus, I read. Sorry, it's being held in. Working to resolve the problem.
Yeah. That's a hypothetical scenario for you. One that required a few tangents to explain what's going on, but hey.
More sewers.
As long as there's no crocodiles in these sewers, I'm good.
Is it New York?
New Orleans.
Okay, that's actually slightly more likely.
I saw some crocs when I came in. Like, when I first entered this level, I saw a few crocs.
Keep doing what you're doing, Anya. If we're going down fighting.
Grace! We need evacuation now!
So, the other night, while I was laying down trying to sleep, my brain conjured another bit of, well, horror fuel, I guess?
Jesus
For
Christ,
the
it's always
Universe
close.
thing.
You're still a conrag, mind you, but you're the most lovable conrag I've ever laid eyes on.
So, you're aware of the alternate version of the human from the Redux story and the Elita 1 and from Seth's alternate version of that story being transported here.
Yes.
Well, in this particular case, they got separated from one another due to a battle with the Unicron Herald.
Okay.
And it's an alternate Armada Starscream that ends up stumbling upon the kid by a little fire he's struggling to keep going. He's scared, he's cold,
You say...
and he really freaks out at the sight of Starscream. Hello?
Hello?
What's this about stars?
Oh, hi, Seki.
Are we talking about the good stuff or the bad stuff when smoking it?
No, we're talking about Starscream. I love how you sound disappointed.
I mean, he's not the shape of a star, nor does he scream, he bitches.
The version we're talking about is the one Starscream that's not a little bitch.
There's Armada Starscream to fight, man.
Yeah, Armada Starscream, like, less bitch, more Doom guy.
Like, this guy really sacrificed himself to prove the point that Unicron was a threat to get into his Peter's thick skull that had they needed to team up with the Autobots to take down Unicron before Cybertron and everyone on it get destroyed. This is an alternate universe version of that character.
I'll be honest, that's the baddest way to go.
Yeah, so I was describing this concept. So Transformers Universe, which was going on in the background around the same time the Unicron trilogy was playing out on TV. Imagine, if you will, Unicron, a version of him sitting in between dimensions, plucking anyone even remotely related to Cybertronians from across time and space to force them to fight within his own body so that he may in turn feed off the energon radiation, the anger, the despair, the hatred, and use that to regenerate himself like some kind of Lovecraftian entity.
Kind of like Secret Wars.
Only much, much worse. At least in terms of consequences. The only bit of Secret Wars that still has lasting consequences was the friggin' black suit.
In fact, that's the only thing I know from Secret Wars.
Yeah, the fact that Venom still exists basically means that Secret Wars still has a place in the continuity. Anyways,
stuck in the mud. We're stranded, and the Outsmercher is incoming. If it gets here before we bail, we are fucked.
I say it's time to ready the nuclear
this one human
What are you talking about, Fergus?
taken here with his Autobot Guardian, they got separated in
Now
battle
that's
with
the
Unicron's
stupidest
Herald.
fucking plan I have ever
And
heard. Set.
we end up coming in with Starscream having found his kid all alone.
Hop on the nuclear cannon and fire it to
Starscream
maximum
has
distance.
3 mini-cons
Far enough away from us not
alongside
to rupture
him.
the hull.
Their names are Sonar, Runway, and Jetstorm. Those who watch the show know this is the mini-con team for the Armada version of the Star Saber, which he did have with him for quite a while in the show.
I think that's why the Transformers Legacy toy comes with the sword, because for a long period of time it was Starscream's sword.
The only one who rivaled the sword for duration, rivaled Starscream for duration with the sword, was Megatron himself. People were actually kind of hoping the Legacy Armada Megatron would come with a bigger Star Saber, and were disappointed when he did.
Anyway,
I was hoping for a Skyboom Shield or a Requiem Blaster with any of the other Armada figures at some point, but that's still not happened. But I'm off topic here. Starscream, at the point of the series he was taken, has... It's somewhere between Optimus Prime's revival and the Recaller episode. So he doesn't quite look like Thundercracker yet. And yes, that's actually a quote from the show. I look like Thundercracker, he says after getting spontaneously recolored through a mini-con power-up.
Just imagine you got recolored and you're hoping that looks slick, but only to realize it's like a fucking grandcracker. Oh man. I'll be honest, I would be very upset.
Looks like the Outsmercer lost track of us. Clear skies on the scope.
Yeah, well, Starscream went from his red, black, and white livery to a more Thundercracker-esque primary blue with the black and red.
I feel like they were trying to make him into the American flag, but they didn't.
So his mini-cons end up approaching this human, much to Starscream's irritation, because he was hoping to keep his distance and see what's actually going on. This kid's alone trying to start a campfire and failing miserably.
on the surface of Unicron.
Man, he just want to camp.
Sounds like a basic Nazi military facility
The brother just wants to do a little campfire, have to roast some marshmallows, and get away from his fucking family, you know?
Not a problem.
I mean, you can't help a brother like that. It's like, you can't help but feel sad for him.
Ever since you obliterated
Then you got a giant ass fucking St. Heroic.
the Nazis
Reluctantly,
were trying to shut the
Starfleet
shite
gets
back into
involved
Colossus.
and a conversation is
They
struck.
moved the Oberkommando to another fucking planet to keep it away from us.
It's through
All
this
their
that Starfleet learns this
all
kid
their
was
top
separated
military
hid from the
secrets
Autobots
have
he
been
was
moved to
brought
a
here
fully
with.
secured base
He's not
on
quite sure how
Venus.
they got here in the first place.
There is no way
They were
you are
on
making
base
it
one
sunshine.
moment, there was a
I don't care
flash,
how
and now they're
mighty your
here.
arsenal or how much fucking manpower. There is not a hope in hell you can bypass all that security.
Yeah.
They've been trying to fight and survive for days now. And he admits he's terrified, as he darn well should be.
I mean, let's be honest here. You got sent to another planet with a bunch of giant robots, and you're trying to start a campfire. Why have you died from a stroke yet?
He even admits, as weird as this planet is, there is something in the realm of food growing here, but it makes him sick and it hurts.
What about him?
There's something wrong about this planet. He's seen cities where every time the wind blows, in his head he hears screams.
It's about the cards in the war too, isn't it?
Have a look.
Like a walrus. Then forget you like
Now, I mentioned before, this is Unicron.
Remember,
I compare him to a
you're Jules
Lovecraftian
Redfield's
entity,
professional actor.
because at the time,
Traveling to Venus to
even
audition
Transformers
for part of
itself
William Joseph
was
Glasgow.
comparing him as such.
Now, you are
This is
summoned
a
by
thing
personal
that
invitation,
eats
so
planets
security should be minimal.
and stars to
Break a leg.
fuel itself. This guy is responsible for her roughly 12% of known reality just spontaneously being destroyed.
Apologies for the long journey, but my
Unicron is not something to be trifled with.
has an affinity for dramatic
And right now, he's trying to capture as many bots as possible to force them to fight so he can feed off their hatred, their anger, and the energon they give off when they're fighting to restore himself after a recent defeat.
I'm guessing it's the reason why the Fight Club came to be.
Welcome to the audition, Mr. Redfield.
I mean, everyone's fighting. He wants to. He just wants to be the ultimate gaslighter, isn't he?
You must be on top of this mission, so be sure to memorize your
I'm the
lines,
ultimate gaslighter.
because
Everyone
also
fight for no
says
reason.
he has
Why the fuck would I fight him? Do it. He said your mom was a hoe. Wait, what? Get over here. Shit.
Thing is, Unicron actually does kind of use tactics like that in the way he forces things to fight. There is a moment.
Makes it concerning.
There is a group of Autobots in one story that get abducted, and they're spontaneously recolored upon arriving there, and they become that much more aggressive and violent. Turns out, Unicron created effectively a Cybertronian brain/computer virus that alters their mind and body and makes them fight. Or at least makes them more prone to fighting.
Alright, so, yeah,
What?
look who's on screen.
Ah, yes, the most famous.
Hello. Yeah, hello, angry mustache man.
What he said. You know what's weird? You know how bad it is? You cannot say his last name on YouTube.
That's why I've been avoiding saying it myself. I don't want to get Bear in trouble.
You can say his first name.
It's a common German first name.
Yeah.
I mean, even after what this guy did, the first name is still common. The last name, not so much.
It's actually illegal here in the U.S. and in Germany to name a kid that.
Like the full thing?
No, his last name.
Okay. So
I have met college students whose names have Adolf as their last name and first name.
I loved you, Mr. Hitler. super good. Mister.
You're just not allowed to say his first name. His last name.
Sie mich ansprechen, sagen Sie mein Führer. Verstanden? Haben Sie keinen Respekt vor Autorität?
I mean, there's a lot of things that you're not allowed to say on YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
So sorry, mein Führer. Sind
It
Sie
rhymes
ein
with
Idiot?
tape.
No, mein Führer. Sind Sie ein verkleideter Schurke, ein Jude?
Which brings the question: how would you play Cards Against Humanity
No,
on
no,
YouTube,
mein Führer. I'm from
live stream
Arizona.
wise?
Oh, Jesus! Apparently,
Arizonians are literally terrorists to him. Holy shit!
apparently, Angry Mustache Man does not like people from Arizona.
I mean, does everyone here really like Arizona?
No, I said people from Arizona.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, does anyone here actually like Arizona? I'm like, let's be honest here. Does anyone here like Arizona?
I think Arizona, I think Iced Tea. And that's about the only thing about the place I like. Then again, it's also the only thing about the place I actually know about. And I don't even know if it's actually from there.
So, I wanna state that it's very clear that Angry Mustache Man is not okay.
Was he ever okay to begin with?
No, I mean I think he has like dementia.
I mean,
Which honestly, like,
I mean that's a good thing. We could brainwash
yes,
him and do other things.
it's a terrible thing to happen to anyone else, but if it ever happened to him,
We just turn around. We'll just say, hey, this is some nice weather we're having, you know?
Yep.
So, fun fact, even though we never really got the game to actually work, in Titanic Adventure Out of Time, there is a set of paintings you have to save from the ship in order to alter history. The paintings and drawings and such you have to save, made by Angry Mustache Man. And if you save them, he gets accepted into an art college, and World War II never happens.
I mean, technically speaking, he was a victim of hate. Because they didn't want him there.
I'm saying that's how the game goes about it. They're not going for complete historical accuracy here.
I know, but historically speaking, if he wasn't a victim of hate, this would never have happened.
A cold-blooded terrorist. That is what you are.
What the hell? I would just want to be an artist.
And you are a Nazi whore.
You monster! What are you going to do to me?
I will rape and murder you.
So many German innocent lives you have killed, but the German race will rise again!
I will murder your dirty race too.
Die Worte waren richtig, ja. Aber sie haben anscheinend nicht die mindeste Ahnung von der Psyche eines Mannes wie William Joseph Blatzkowitz. Wie können Sie sagen?
So, another fun fact. You have a chance to kill Funny Mustache Man here, but if you do, it's an automatic game over.
Yep. But you can still do something else to him, which is not as good as killing him, but
You're a Nazi whore.
If it's not teabagging him, I don't want to hear it.
What are you going to do to me?
Why would you want to put your junk on that? Ew.
I will murder you.
It's all about bringing back Halo Combat Evolved style.
Innocent lives you have killed.
Even Halo players consider that just stupid.
They're the ones that invented it.
And I will murder you.
And we grew out of it.
No.
Most of us.
There we go.
von ihm lernen.
If given the opportunity to take back a freaking player, I would do it.
Dieses Irren zu verstehen, diesen dreckigen
Okay, you
Untermensch.
dirty celiac.
Kannte ihn in- und auswendig. Und darum konnte ich ihn gefangen nehmen und ihn der Gerechtigkeit übergeben.
Subhuman.
Mein Gott.
I mean,
Gott, hab ich Hunger. William Joseph Blatzkowitsch. Aufgewachsen in Mesquite, Texas. Mischlingskind eines Verkäufers und einer polnischen Jüdin. Die Mutter wurde vom Vater ausgeliefert, starb in einem Vernichtungslager in Neumexiko. Selbst als
Anyways,
Erwachsener waren seine
trying to remember where I was
Geistesfähigkeiten
going
auf die
before we got
Ebene des Kindes
sidetracked.
und tatsächlich als
something about Transformers.
konnte man sehen.
Yeah, so
Der Jude ist
originally, my brain, while I was like, bear in mind, I was trying to fall asleep at the time, so I might not have all my details set up anymore. But like, I remember there being a conversation between the two where they started describing their respective worlds to each other.
William Joseph Bloskowitz was not a man of
Starscream's
intellect.
honestly
He was a man of
surprised to
action.
hear this kid mention, you know, you look like the Starscream from my world. He's leading Cybertron right now, trying to get it, you know, restored after all the war damage.
But first, he must eliminate the brave soldiers standing guard outside the school in a brutal fight scene.
Starscream ultimately decides, okay, fine, I'm gonna take you back to your Autobot team, and then I'm basically out of here.
Why don't you start?
Along the way, they happen across pools of a strange energon-like substance, but instead of glowing blue or even the purple of dark energon, it's like this weird golden color.
Lines from the cue card. Exactly as written.
I'll go.
This substance is called Anglemois energy. And it is essentially a byproduct of Unicron doing what Unicron does. The remnants of the planet he consumed before it could be converted into more dark energon. It is a powerful, if fast-burning, energy that can do darn near anything, but is heavily swayed by the emotions of the person attempting to use it. People with darker natures create darker constructs. This substance has done darn near everything from reformatting Transformers to repairing wounds to straight up creating new Cybertronians.
Mr. Redfield, please.
Okay, so I'm about to do something crazy.
Do it. Have its dominance.
Going for the game over then?
Chicago.
Wait a minute.
You got killed real fast.
Oh, well. Okay, anyway. The wording on that walkthrough was very,
Mr. Redfield,
misleading.
would you step into the box?
Dann mach es mal richtig, du Wichtigtuer.
Is that what you wanted? Is that what you had in mind? You Nazi assholes. Because that's all you're getting.
I just now realized the guy with the scar reminds me of an anime character. Can't put my finger on it.
Fuhrer Bradley?
Perfect.
Yes.
Let me help you unpack, Mr. Redfield. Was zur Hölle ist das?
But yeah, I got a trophy for kicking Hitler.
Brace
Pick
yourself,
pick the
Adolf.
baby.
I'm leaving here with your secret Odin
Don't
codes.
kick the goddamn baby.
Steal the Ausmerzer.
What
Take
the
down
only?
General Angle.
Kick the feeble, angry
Show
mustache
the
man
American
instead.
people what revolution looks like.
Give you lots and lots of candy.
But yeah, it's about that point where the Anglemont energy got introduced that I finally nodded off. And then I forgot where the heck my brain was going after I woke up.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
I vaguely remember something about creating more mini-cons out of it. Because in Transformers Armada, mini-cons were basically Unicron's, they call it Unicron cells. They were created from Unicron to exasperate the Autobot Decepticon war, keep them fighting for as long as possible, so the Chaos Bringer could feed off that hatred. Effectively a more distant and hands-off version of what he was doing in Transformers universe, except that time it worked. So, remember how I said that Starscream had to die in his series to get Galvatron to work with Optimus and stop Unicron?
Yes.
I've mentioned this to Bear before, but it turns out there's a good timeline in comparison to this. In the original version of Transformers universe back in the day, one of the bots that got abducted was an alternate Armada Megatron. Having seen firsthand what Unicron was capable of and what it wanted, when he returned to his home universe, he didn't need to be convinced to join with Optimus to stop the Chaos Bringer, and so Starscream didn't have to die. Starscream would then manage to live through both sequel series, basically retaining his character development from Armada, and creating the ultimate good ending for that storyline. And I'm sitting here going, and that's the version we never got.
Is that the Bermuda Triangle?
Yes.
Huh.
One of the oldest fucking legends to this day. And whatever goes in will never come out.
Although, despite that, I believe, like in more recent years, ships have gone in and come out. I think it's a case of whatever it is, like the magnetic distortions that yeah, the magnetic field that causes ships to whoa. That happened. That causes ship. Oh my God! He's a simp for Angle.
Yep.
The main villain of this game.
I'm guessing to him, she has a dump truck.
Let's set her on fire next time we see her.
Next time we see her, I'm gonna blow her damn brains out.
Can we set her on fire right after so to make the marshmallows roasted?
Or
Set her on fire first, then shoot her brains out after she's suffered.
Or if we want to be real poetic, we cut off her head like she cut off Caroline's and mine.
Alright, alright, the justice of poetry, let's go.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm surprised she didn't try to kiss the decapitated Blazkowicz head that this depraved freak.
I think the only reason she didn't do it was because she was on live TV. Yeah, I don't mean to keep like derailing your train of thought, man.
It's okay. I've reached the end station anyway.
Are you really the end station, or are you the end station? Shower thoughts.
What I mean is, I basically finished my train of thought anyways.
Okay. I felt bad that I kept interrupting.
It's fine. Like more or less, where I think I was initially going was like,
whoa!
Yeah, the way Engelmont energy was originally described, it was described as a byproduct of Unicron doing his thing. So it was effectively just Dark Energon before Dark Energon was a thing. So my brain found a way to reconcile, yeah, this way Dark Energon and Engelmont can exist at the same time. They're just different forms of the same substance.
Okay,
There was a Nazi up here. Where'd he go?
I did not see that coming.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Also, blood fountain.
It's really concentrated red wine.
Yeah, I want to say, like, as fucked up as Nazis are, I don't think they would have a blood fountain.
Yeah. Especially when the blood would rust the pipes like no tomorrow.
Now, a red wine fountain, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I'm in your base, eating all your foodstuffs.
Eating all your grapes.
Back my guy. I'm like, I'm also going to bottle this wine and make millions in the future with my descendants. Fuck you.
Cut the Doom guy finding a bottle of wine.
And then become a trillionaire.
Nah, knowing the Doomslayer, he'd probably just break it over some demon's head without a second thought.
Yeah.
That is true, or drink it. Well, more of the bashing.
He would probably drink one and then bash with the other.
That's exactly how I picture it. So bash it and then fuck it up. This is some good wine. Here. How you like it? Bitch.
God, I just thought of an even more brutal way for him to do so. He takes a good sip or two, demon approaches, he proceeds to take the still mostly full bottle, cram it into the demon's mouth, slams on the bottom to jam it into the demon's throat, and then just kicks it away to drown.
Jesus.
He's not here, we have Doomcon instead.
Yeah.
And as he's doing all this, Blaskovich is just watching from heaven going, that's my boy. Apparently, there's a sequel game for this out now, or at least in the
Yeah,
works, where it's a multiplayer thing. You're playing as Blazkowicz's daughters.
it's called Youngblood. It was not as well received as these games. So I don't know how likely it is we'll ever get like more Wolfenstein because of Youngbloods.
I mean,
Or
there's
young.
plenty of Wolfenstein games too.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, I don't think we're gonna get like any more.
At least not from this version of the timeline.
I'll be honest, it'll be a bit weird never to see another Wolfenstein game.
I mean, like, in Youngblood, like, Blazkowicz does mention that he found a device that let him see different realities. Like, he saw one where the Nazis never won. He saw one where he saw one where this guy in weird green armor was going around killing monsters. He saw a lot. My thinking is if they do another Wolfenstein game, they can just say that Youngblood took place in one of those alternate timelines.
Like, they already have the excuse baked in, so why not?
I mean, you can
also, just a friendly reminder, the Doomslayer basically invaded and tore hell a new one because they killed his rabbit.
Yep.
I kid you not. One of the games was basically just a long string of revenge kills for his pet bunny rabbit.
I believe her name is Daisy.
It is. See, this is what happens when you take away a person's last tether to sanity. You get that.
Yep.
You do not mess with a person's pet.
Hey, we found the actors.
Ugh. The poor final person didn't even have a chance to freaking audition. He just got shot on the spot.
No, he did audition. He got the lines right.
I mean, after Blazkowicz got his chance.
Oh yeah. Well, it was the kid from Arizona first, who got shot because he's from Arizona. Blazkowicz got the words right, but according to Angry Mustache Man, he didn't. He got the words right, but he was not channeling the essence of the psychopath that is Terror Billy. The one that got shot at the end, he did all the lines right, and even impressed the film's director, Helena. And then the fourth actor was he died because he was not prepared for combat. And then the third actor died because I did such a good job killing a Nazi.
Time to break into the facility.
Oh, my friends are making fun of this guy right now.
For General Angle's ship.
Of the sky?
Yeah, over here in the city because we're being affected by the wildfire.
Yeah, I had to explain that at the beginning of this stream. The wildfires in Canada are so damn bad that the smoke has crossed the border into the United States and even all the way over to my state. Like, I can't even see the sky. It is just pure white up there.
Yeah, we're talking about over 127 miles.
Like at this point, the sky is just grayish white.
I mean, you lucky for you. Ours is fucking got this orange tint.
I think it's because you're closer.
Yeah.
Me and Latios are a little farther away.
Oh my god.
Me slightly less so than Bear.
Yeah. That might be why yours is like gray and white, and mine is just white.
It looks exactly like fucking Persona. Like, I'm not joking. I didn't one of my friends, oh, aren't there Persona's fucking world? I'm like, go outside with your Persona cosplay.
Oh, Taro would be fucking ecstatic right now, except he lives on the other side of the planet. Oh.
I recently encouraged him. He's tempted to do it right now. It's like, do it. It'll be quick, and I can Photoshop the other parts of the game. I'm going to go outside and Persona cosplay.
Yeah, before my mom left for work, she told me to keep all the doors closed, all the windows up, because the air quality has dropped, and the last thing we need is for my brother to have another asthma attack.
Yeah, they said if you breathe it in, it becomes like pounds and pounds of like cigarettes and shit. I am literally going to go. Yeah, I just closed my window not long ago because I noticed I felt a little off.
I got basically poked by my own family going, hey, shut the window, we're putting the AC on instead.
Yeah, but you also need that place to get the smell out of your room. Oh, fuck.
Luckily, I had already, like, the windows were already shut. It's just, it was just the front door that needed to be closed. And, like, we've been sealed up since. Except for the bathroom, because those windows can't close.
I really wish I had a loud-ass Bluetooth speaker right now. I want to put it next to the kitchen, in front of the kitchen window. And what's the music that? What is that? I want to I want to play this right now.
Don't play it. Copyright.
No, you have it.
Woo!
I That's what I want to do right now.
The one time in my life I'm actually happy to hear that. Because I thought you were going to play a copyrighted song. I was like, please don't. And then you just played the Silent Hill alarm, and I'm like, I have never felt more happy in my life to hear that fucking alarm than right now.
I've also never been happier to forget to unmute the stream itself. I've just been hearing the conversation in the Discord.
So, Latios, I have rediscovered an old fanfic that you might be interested in.
Alright.
It is called Kamen Rider GX. It is a crossover between Kamen Rider and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Interesting.
Basically, what?
I'll be honest, it sounds a perfect blend.
Yeah.
The same main character Jaden is. Same how he is.
Well, no, this has an OC, like an original character, who owns the deck. He ends up going. Basically, the story is essentially the same, except for a handful of additional characters. And there's also, on top of the story of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, there's also the story of the fan fiction. So there's like two different stories going on with two different main characters, and it works. The main character, Kuragasa, has a Kamen Rider deck. His father, who worked for the card company, that makes the Duel Monster cards, created the cards as a gift. Well, he created the cards as a new potential addition to the game. However, he disappeared before that could happen. The only set of cards to exist are the ones that Kuragasa has. And also, Kuragasa, much like Jaden, is capable of seeing and communicating with dual spirits. Particularly the dual spirits of his own deck. So he is talking with Kamen Riders. All of who, which you think would be cool. But the clashing personalities of all of them have kind of made his life complicated. Like Agito,
deck that's constantly arguing with itself all hours of the night. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh. At the end of one chapter, like all of his writers come out and just start talking about trying to get him in shape, trying to make friends, trying to impress his new crush. And like Kuragasa's just like, let me sleep. And Decade is just like, no. It's funny as shit. But there are other characters, other original characters with their own original decks. The chapter that I'm most recently on has a childhood friend of Kuragasa's who has a fighting Foodon deck.
I actually recognize that, but just barely. Like, I do remember what the concept of the show was. I just don't remember ever watching it.
I watched it a couple times as a kid.
For those who don't know, fighting Foodons was basically, imagine Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, but you had to cook food to make the monster that you were dueling with.
Yep. But yeah, the original fan fiction was apparently taken down off fanfiction.net, but I did manage to find it on the Internet Archive.
Okay.
So I'm just rereading it.
So, okay, I might have asked this already, maybe, Seki, but let's see. What would your personal Call Digimon partner be if you had the choice? Like now that we're on topics of like Mon shows and the like.
Seki is muted.
Okay. I was listening to. I thought my friend played sent an audio file, but it wasn't. It was just a video. I'll be honest. I have no idea because with newer evolutions are now coming out. I want to go with the X antibody variants. I want to have two partners. I want to have Bellstar Mom because I want Bayonetta to literally be my partner. Barry knows what I'm talking about.
Bayonetta the Witch?
No, Bellstar Mom. She's basically Bayonetta.
Oh, right.
She basically is Bayonetta.
Yeah, she is.
As for a partner of like of the light, I'm gonna have to go with. I knew since I found out about newer evolutions and ultras, I want to get Tyrant Copper Terramon.
If I could have a second partner, my two partners would be Bikumon and Gatomon X antibody.
My partner would just be Bearmon.
We need to like fill. I hope Karn makes a commission missing evolutions for Bearmon because the ones that I seen is basically you need Arcadiamon and
I will once I have money, I will personally pay him to do a video like that.
I might come up with a couple of evolutions myself if I can get the attention span from pencil to paper.
I mean, there's just too many to count. I mean, I really want to see from the real games and the audio drama. Since everyone can mix armor evolution, I really want to see the dark armor evolution eggs animated and brought to light.
For that matter, we know there are dark crests out there.
What? Dark.
If you have dark armors, there are dark crests. We know those exist.
Yeah, I just want to see that in person. I just want to see that anime, just because of potential, more fun evolutions and stuff like that. And it can't be it can affect the one that's chosen for it. But I also want to see like being messed around by other Digidestin, like it doesn't. It's not actually connected to anybody. It's just responds to someone with the most darkest intent. So if someone's really like, let's say someone like got really hurt or died, like Leomon, the Yamcha of the group, it will just respond to
I've heard there are people legitimately upset with Digimon Adventure 2020 because Leomon lived to the end.
the one time the brother gets to get a break and people bitch, why are you still alive? You're supposed to be dead. Damn, what can I do?
That's like watching a Transformers anything and then complaining because Prime didn't die.
Man. The brother was just, don't confuse me with my cousin, my ancestor. I ain't not related to that son of a bitch.
Damn, I'm burning up.
Yeah, but all of them died. I don't give a fuck. It's just hilarious.
Given what happened to Mekumon in Ghost Game, I am genuinely scared that Mekumon might be taking Leomon's role as the one who dies every season.
Need to cool down.
And Digimon Ghost Game, I mean, out of all the constant death or one that put it out the most, yeah, it would be Mekumon. Mekumon appeared twice.
Technically, it was a Bujimon that turned into Crackmon, but still.
Well, let's see. Mekumon disappeared due to that Gatomon robbing of its partner, and it came back included. Was upset. I hate that was the most darkest episode, and now that I think about it, out of all the episodes, that's the darkest.
And they basically used that particular Mekumon as a mouthpiece. Like, why do people hate me? Like, I've seen people interpret it like that.
I mean, it's not wrong to interpret it because it's like.
And the thing is, much like with how Transformers fans view Rodimus Prime, the majority of the hatred to Mekumon comes from, like, America.
Good old fashioned American.
We are a hate-filled country.
We cannot.
We are a nostalgia-obsessed, hate-filled country.
Dude, these people will threaten a voice actor for no reason.
Like, I describe it as such as, like, okay, at the landscape of Digimon at the time, when Digimon Tri came out in Japan, they'd been consistently getting Digimon stuff for years, and the Adventure Kids never really went away. They were in, like, promotional material and spin-off mangas and the like all the time. So they didn't really have that nostalgia reaction to Digimon Tri that the States did. Because for us, it had been roughly a decade since we'd last seen the Adventure Kids.
I mean, yeah.
And because of that, people were going, what the hell is this original character bullshit? Get that out of my nostalgia. And basically blaming Mekumon and Mako for every fault the movies had.
People have been like that.
There are people I've actually seen agree with me when I said Digimon Tri should never have had the Adventure Kids to begin with, and it should have been its own universe with a unique cast of Digidestined.
I can see where I can understand that. But it's just that they publicly announced that, hey, we're going to make an anniversary. We're going to make them into grown kids. With storytelling, quote, end quote, storytelling. Ignoring the plot holes. Let's just pretend they're not there.
is they did a Digimon stage play that basically did Digimon Try's message better than the movies did.
Yeah, and that's what's sad. I need to find that.
It's on YouTube, just no subtitles.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, but it's just it's how people are. They will always complain about everything. Hey, why is this character here? They're not supposed to be like this. They're supposed to be like this. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
And the thing is, I genuinely see people complaining about how Mako basically attempts to save Bakumon with, oh, all you did was guess one password to get into a memory thing. Do you realize that they're still trying to show, yeah, it's because she knows Bakumon so well that she was able to guess this password when nobody else seems to figure it out?
And they did say they gave her a clue. What is it that make? What is something that y'all both know? And it's dan dan. Ding. What about dan dan? It works. It's just how people are, man.
Had they basically had they basically not had Yggdrasil show up to screw everybody over because reasons, this would have worked. And honestly, I would have appreciated that because it would have actually tied up the narrative a lot cleaner if they had let Mako save her partner.
I'll be honest. I was expecting Adriel to at least show up once. At least once. I mean, you have a god Digimon just standing by and says, "Yo, go and take this Digimon out." Adriel said something. Tell him to say it to my face. I bet.
If anything, Yggdrasil should have just separated Bakumon from Ordinemon since he's got everything he needs with Ordinemon. He goes, here, have your worthless cat back. I have what I need.
Yeah. But as always, people complain too much.
Yep.
In my case, I complain because I know Try could have done better.
We all know that with the amount of plot holes. You have 6 movies, and you didn't bother. TK didn't bother checking out. Wait, why is he Digimon Kaiser again? Better yet, why hasn't noticed? Why no one noticed that
When
O2 spot?
Digimon Try Abridged pokes fun at this and makes more sense than your own movie, you have a problem. When the Abridged series has better writing than your movie.
Yeah, as I said, like
Like,
it's
they
just
actually call this out. Like, they try asking the supposed Digimon Emperor there, what happened to everybody? Hey, Ken, what's going on? And never get the answer. And eventually they just give up, and TK's like, so it's official then. We do not care about the others. Okay.
I mean, yeah, but like as I said, 6 movies. I expect.
And you know what? You know what that could have been done to easily, clear all that up?
Uh-huh.
Just say that they're all, like, on some kind of out-of-country trip. Maybe they're off visiting friends in the United States. You know they have friends there.
I mean, that would probably be your lead.
Like, just leave it at that. They're effectively out of Japan for the time being and can't get back here in time.
And then they learn, oh wait, they've been taken. Like I said.
Like, there are ways around this if you think about it. And you don't even have to think all that hard. Like, I have a headache that's making it difficult to think right now, and I still came up with that. suffice to say, though, I am including my own headcanon to the end of Try, since at this point they have not said or done anything to contradict me yet, even with Last Evolution Kizuna or her presumably the upcoming Digimon Zero Two movie. And my headcanon is this. Because Meikumon slash Ordinemon had all of the digital world memory data stored inside of her, and it was through guessing this password they were able to get this data the out of Meikumon and back into the digital world. I'd like to think enough of her came with the data that even though she died in the real world, enough of her exists in the digital world that she could pull herself back together after a while. Not very quickly, but eventually. When I trip back into the digital world just to reconnect with their partners, Mako happens to be along. They end up in the Village of Beginnings, and bam! There's a very familiar Digi-A.
Baby Don intensifies. You know I had to do it.
I mean...
Hey, I've laughed, so, like... no issue here.
It's also even better because it's a baby.
A baby of a Digimon that had chance Dan, whatever they get, like, overly excited.
So yeah,
Meikumon, like, it's something I did in my own story, but, like, Meikumon and Try seems to treat that phrase as, like, a verbal stim.
I mean, yeah, it really is. I'm guessing they wanna. I'm guessing the reason they make Mikumon say that all the time is because it makes Mikumon very loving, very caring. Like, oh, Mikumon isn't like that. Mikumon isn't.
If you even look at it, Miko and Meikumon were basically created to be the opposites of Kari and Gatomon. And yes, even in the production notes, this said as much. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Please proceed.
Yeah. Mikumon. They just want to make Mikumon like really very childlike. It was like a simple gimmick, like, oh, my cat is absolutely loving. The vet says you're full of shit, my dude. Motherfucker took one of my fucking assistants out. We're just trying to get the fucker a flu shot.
Fucker took my eye.
And I decided to take its claws. That's essentially how they treated Mikumon. Sweet, lovely. Oh, plot. Oh, shit. Run, 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 run. Get the squad, get the squad. Get the squad. Forget about the fucking guy. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead. He should have paid his taxes. I don't know. Run.
What the fuck?
That's some shit I was saying as I'm running for my life. I don't know.
He should have paid his taxes.
Wait, what does that have to do with taxes? I don't know. Just run.
What the does any of this have to do with Vietnam? But that's the energy I'm getting out of that taxes comment. Like, yeah, like you were saying, how Meikumon is supposed to be depicted as like a kind of very childlike and very sweet. This even reflects in how she talks in the Japanese version. She's a very terse talker, using very simple and childlike turns of phrase.
Yeah, but when you take Mikumon to the vet, fuck it. You got at least 3 dead bodies and a guy who barely managed to get the flu shot in.
And he's missing an arm.
And he's like, yo, I'm about to be, fuck this, I'm going to retirement. Fuck this guy. Yo, where's Izzy? The motherfucker owes me money. Izzy.
Where's Izzy? The motherfucker owes me money.
Fuck yes, because he's the one. Oh my god, he said, Izzy, you owe me money. No, I don't. You recommended them to me. Shut the fuck up. You're rich. All right, fine. Also, pay for the funeral. Wait, what? Send screenshot.
Plural.
Sends a picture of the dead bodies. And you're like, God damn it.
Damn, I'm burning up.
At least with the headcanon I mentioned of Bakuman pulling herself back together eventually, there is one piece of data that won't be there. The part that had the Apocalypse data is basically, presumably, gone. The Apocalypse data either returned to the rest of Apocalypse as part of Millenniumon or something, or just actually deleted. If it is a part of the thing it came from now, we could just say wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff and leave it at that. If it's actually deleted, good. Either way, in my own timeline for Digimon 22, I did still have Bakumon survive the events of Tri in some capacity, whether she pulled herself back together eventually or just survived the events of the anime movies there. Either way, she's there. Mako's been making cat videos with her, and that's basically gotten their YouTube career off the ground. Which leads back to, you spent the entire night watching cat videos.
Yes, and it was the best time of my life. Fuck you. I mean, I seen a few cat videos on YouTube, and they all have like millions of views. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It makes sense already. It's just cats being cats and just moving around. So.
I might actually have to edit out a conversation in that story because, in hindsight, I asked a question I'm not prepared to answer.
How?
Can a Digimon be autistic?
Too hot.
Yeah, someone actually asked that in one of those conversations. Can a Digimon be on the spectrum? I'm not prepared to answer that question because I myself don't really have an answer. So I might just go back and edit that part of the conversation out. Change that scene.
I am the biggest dummy that there ever was.
You're the biggest dumbass to ever dumbass?
Yep.
In the kingdom of dumbass?
In the province of Dalmatia.
Yeah, what's going on here? I've been seeing you running around this place for like the last several minutes and get.
Once I can find what I'm looking for, I'll show you. Okay, that's the dead.
It says C4. Please let me get some.
What?
Nothing.
No. Looking for. Oh, yay.
assuming you have to reload on some kind of coolant in order to make sure you don't cook alive in there.
Yep, that's what these stations are for.
These stations are asking for too much when you're in a freaking camp of terrorist organizations. I'm sorry, but they told me, oh, try to cool down. No! I'm running for my life. Or die trying.
Okay. This stumped me. I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do.
I know, it seems like a rip-off thing of Star Wars.
Like,
I'm expecting Luke Skywalker to be hanging by the edge, and Darth Vader saying...
Like, I thought this was something I would need the ramshackles for. But it's telling me to use the... Okay, what the hell?
Like, you're expecting Darth Vader to be going like, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
Exactly.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No.
I'm burning up.
I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Listen to the Force.
Like, on a quick tangent there, evidently not even the cast and crew knew about that twist before it happened.
Yeah, a lot of film directors love to keep a lot of things secret.
I can't break through this! Oh my god. I need to look up a walkthrough. Because if it says I need the ramshackles, I'm fucked! Because I don't have the ramshackles.
Whack, whack, whack. While Bear's doing that, Seki, did I ever tell you about my Nation of Nostalgia idea?
No.
It's effectively a new landmass that's formed in the digital world as the internet itself.
Oh my fucking god!
What happened?
I was supposed to use constrictor to go around. I love this game, but fuck this game.
When the game doesn't bother giving you the hit because they thought it was obvious to the player.
So, anyways, in the Digimon 22 universe I've been setting up, ever since like early 2003, Digimon are becoming increasingly common, and as the world itself has developed around that, and the internet grew more prevalent and nostalgia culture became a thing,
The digital world itself responded to human feelings and created a new landmass, which has been continuously growing, which we now call the Nation of Nostalgia. Everything from old video games to cartoon channels and blogs to movies to basically anything you can think of that people would consider nostalgic, it's in there somewhere. And it's constantly changing because as generations come and go, what's considered nostalgic will change.
There's a lot of areas of the Nation of Nostalgia that are just run down because they're not nostalgic anymore.
Oh,
Beyond that, people are like there are Digimon that are staying there instead of finding human partners because there's so much human emotion in these places, even if they're starting to decay, that why would we ever seek a human to digivolve when we could just soak up the energy here? So, yeah. The less rundown a place is, the more Digimon you're gonna find there. And any that are still hanging around the very rundown places, they are mean as hell, and you do not want to get near them. For example, there's an area that's starting to fall to ruin, but it's still nostalgic enough that there's some level of upkeep. Cartoon Network City. If you remember a time where the CGI city was the way the bumpers were designed, that's what this area is. People still consider it nostalgic, so it's not abandoned yet. But as more and more people come to view Cartoon Network and remember it for the eras after that, well, it will continue to decay.
Did you guys see that?
See what?
This.
The puzzle?
No, I have this gun, and if I try... It kind of looks like a BFG, but... when I fire it, it looks like it's opening up a hell portal.
Weird. Now, if you want to see a place that's truly run down and hellish, and even Digimon don't go there, the Nickelodeon part of the continent is basically one big death trap.
Yep.
Nah, this Nickelodeon. Higher than becoming a death trap. Nah. Let's have that as Disney. Just saying how big Disney is.
Oh no. No, the Disney era basically is not only a screaming metal death trap, it is one that takes prisoners to force them to work in their parks.
Ah, modern day slavery. Gotcha.
That's why people try not to go there.
I've never been to Disney, so I don't know.
Yeah, from what I've heard, their parks are not exactly pleasant for the workers.
It's a giant park. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You're in a giant park full of hundreds of people. It's gonna be very exhausting, no matter what.
Fair.
Yes. Yes? What? Oh, fuck. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello?
Why were you... I heard bear. What's up?
I said fair.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
But yeah, it's honestly a fair point about how like huge parks, lots of people. It's
You're,
why I choose to never go to one of those parks in my lifetime because I don't like places like that. It would be basically my own private hell. So no.
especially if you have anxiety.
Especially if you have anxiety and a sensitivity to loud noises.
Yeah.
And guess what? I do.
I was right. This gun is a reference to the BFG.
Yeah, I was about. Oh yeah, I was about to say that. Like, yeah, that looks like the weapon from Doom. Because it basically looks similar.
Because Wolfenstein and Doom are apparently supposed to be the same universe.
Yep.
That is hilarious. You can make Doom Guy just the fact that Doom Guy is canon.
Not only is he canon, he is Blazkowicz's descendant.
Yeah. They are literally relatives of one another.
I saw the most weirdest video on YouTube titled that Link is Doom Guy. And I'm like, please, I'm not gonna watch this video. I don't need some high tier fuckery.
I don't need no crackpot theory.
I mean, connecting Link, it was some wild shit. It's like, yeah, this character is actually this character. It's like, no, I'm not touching that.
That's
yeah.
like
I don't need no crackpot theory. I was saying that for Wish for Mercury, and then the crackpots turned out to be right.
Reminds me of game theory when Matt Pat said that Sans from Undertale was Ness from Earthbound.
And now he's at least mature enough to joke about that video and say he regrets making it.
I mean, it's just a little hilarious. Ness being from Undertale. That's just funny. That's just funny. But Ness.
Like, you mean you're Ness? No, I'm just a fucking nerd.
No, I'm just a nerd that's just judging you from a distance. Oh, sorry, bitch. Oh no, that's just funny.
Deja vu.
My gun!
Considering how Mother has the most craziest theories, and yet the director himself said, no, that's not true at all. Shut the fuck up. And he's like, wow.
Well, like one theory I remember hearing was like, hello? Hey, Taro.
You alright?
Yeah, you sound tired.
Sorry if I interrupted. Proceed.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Earthbound.
Okay. The theory.
What theory are you talking about?
Supposedly, like in the process of rebirth or something. It was the fact that when you see that screen of the wavy screen, that's actually a baby that you see, and that is just
Oh, that theory.
yes, that one.
Okay, so I remember hearing that the reason that's there is because, like, that entire final boss scene was inspired by uh, the game director misremembering something. because when he was a kid, he snuck into an R-rated movie, and he thought he saw was a woman being raped.
Uh-huh.
But it turns out he was misremembering that. That's not what was actually happening.
Oh, okay. Well, because of that theory, when someone presented that theory, he immediately came in and said, "Yeah, no, go fuck yourself." He literally says, "No, bad, person." What theory are you referring to, Bear?
What I just said. It's not so much a theory as it is, regularly talked about.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Earthbound was mother. That game. When Angry Video Game Nerd finally talked about it, I think he even confirmed. He even mentioned it. It was wild.
So
Video.
one thing I like about the Mother games is that while they're not completely, there's no direct connection outside of maybe like one or two things, but like the connections that are there are important. For example, the final boss of the first two games, Mother 1 and 2, it's the same creature. Gigu, I believe, was its name in Mother 1. It was a psychic alien that was weaponized by its race to conquer planets. However, it was extremely unstable, like mentally, I mean. It ended up being sort of raised by two humans that the aliens had kidnapped a long time ago. And, like, Gigu had grew attached to the woman, but the aliens were like, no, that's not good. We need you to be ruthless. And they just got rid of her. And eventually Gigu became cruel, cold, and calculating. But the thing that you collect throughout the entire journey of Mother 1 are the notes to a lullaby that the woman would sing to Gigu. And when the heroes sing that song, as they're about to be beaten by Gigu, it causes him to stop, freak out, and leave. And then in Mother 2, Gigu comes back, but combined with his mental instability, what happened at the end of the first game, and his ever-growing psychic power, his body was torn apart. And his psychic power was just made manifest. Gyges is the final form of Gigu. Just everything that made him a monster just tore him apart and became a physical, psychic being. And then you have Mother 3, where the main villain is Pokey, or Porky, who was a
depending on your translation,
major character in Earthbound 2, and he was Gyges's assistant in near the end of Mother 2. And it's believed that whatever was left of Gigu had made its way into Pokey/Porky.
Again, depending on your translation.
Yeah. But in the end, he ends up in a capsule that will never open, where he can never be harmed. Like,
The absolutely safe capsule.
yep, the most terrifying thing imaginable. Because once it's active, you cannot deactivate it.
Games and their theories.
So, on the note of theories that got debunked, that I'm happy got debunked because they're just kind of creepy, and to bring it back to Digimon, apparently one episode in particular made people think that Kai and Kari had a thing for each other.
Wait, what?
People kind of like,
Wait,
fuck no.
Which pair? Kai and Kari?
Kai and Kari.
No, they're siblings.
That hasn't stopped Japan before.
This is before it became normal.
Is it?
This is before it started. This is before it started.
Is it?
It turns out the theory basically spawned from a misinterpretation of a translated interview.
Okay, so it's a one big understanding of that people see what the fun for.
But like, yeah, no.
Society collapsing in front of our eyes.
Yeah, Red had, like, in our Facebook chat, our friend Red had posted something about how people are apparently believing that Spider-Gwen is trans because of a misinterpretation.
In a different country because it can't be here.
No, I mean, like something about there being a trans flag, but people are ignoring that the flag was the ally flag, not the actual flag.
Oh, okay.
But people were
And
ignoring.
someone went on to say, "Oh, the colors of her hood alone are the trans flag colors, so she's got to be trans." And then someone argued, by that same logic, Miles is a Nazi because of his costume colors.
Commando. Population.
That's one way to shut someone up.
Assholes.
That is the best way to shut someone up.
My response is simply, people will find any reason to argue, I guess.
I mean, people like to make wild assumptions just because.
And God forbid if you ever challenge them on it.
Word. Like,
I don't mind groups like theirs getting more representation in media because, let's face it, it's well done representation of groups that aren't the standard ones we're used to is kind of non-existent. But, like, within reason, people, this character was depicted as an ally, not trans himself, so, like, come on.
It's because ignorance is blessed. Like, oh, these colors are good. No, that's the lack of allies. It's so they've always used those colors.
Ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is annoyance.
Actually,
Depends on the circumstances.
yeah, it is because a lot of people don't read the comics. They don't know the actual material itself. So they just making these assumptions like, oh, this character is actually this. No, that's.
They also think it's fucking canon now too.
Like, that's what you mentioned there about not even reading the comics. That reminds me of a consistent points of irritation. So, one of the YouTube channels I watch is called The Birdman, spelled with a 3 in the. So, he basically does everything wrong with his CinemaSins videos as a bit of a joke. But he does offer legit criticism when it's necessary. In one particular case, one thing that CinemaSins does constantly that drove him up the wall is their argument that the books don't and should never matter.
In the case of the Birdman stance, he says the books do matter because that's how these characters are written and interpreted. Granted, you should never need to read a book to understand a movie, but
there's elements of
if the movies are drawing source material from a book, in order to understand it, you might need to at least give the book a chance.
Exactly. Saying that the source material does not matter. Oh my god. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god, my brain.
That and it's made it a basic mantra of theirs. The books don't matter. It never mattered. It never will matter. And
Except they do.
And even if they do, they don't.
As someone who reads manga, it hurts. Like, I understand you're doing your own interpretation from the source material, and you try to make it as its own unique thing.
Imagine they said this shit for Dragon Ball Evolution. People would be hanging them by the balls.
Okay. Okay, you're just gonna see a terrorist organization.
People kind of have, not necessarily CinemaSins, but people kind of have.
Really?
That was effectively the mindset they had when making Dragon Ball Evolution in a nutshell. The books don't matter. We're just gonna make Dragon Ball, but instead, it's Spider-Man.
The thing is, if you're trying to make it your own type of way, do it. It just hurts my head when you said that. It hurts, man. It hurts.
I've read plenty of manga too, so I know exactly what you're talking about with the whole source material being disregarded and shit. Like, I've been there, man. I feel your pain.
Shucks. Like, like, certain elements from the source material should be included. Like, certain things,
Obviously, there are some things that work for one medium that will not work for another, so a change in the adaptation is always going to be a necessity.
Yeah.
But you should still endeavor to take what does still work for both mediums and utilize it.
Yeah. Or, exactly, like with the flag. No, that's the ally flag, but everyone thinks something else. No. You have to respect and explain it. You can't just, take it.
You can't just cherry pick whatever you want to fit your agenda.
Exactly. And not only that, you have to explain it. You're obligated to explain it. You can't just say, oh, it's this. Oh, it means they're this. No, they're allies. They're this. It means that.
Especially this very character was shown in the previous Spider-Verse movie and did not have that moment, like, at all.
I'm sorry. My brain is too damaged from that statement. Main source materials don't matter. That hurts my brain. It really does.
It hurts my brain too.
They're saying to the guy that's had the actual headache.
I feel sorry for you now. I refuse. If I see him, I'm just whooping his ass.
Transformers had a similar scare about this.
Oh,
if
God.
I meet him in person, I'm straight up whooping his ass. Like, just like, you know what?
The whole trans flag shit going on. Transformers had its own version of that shit going on for a while. Here's the scenario. About 6 to 8 months ago, Transformers Earthspark introduced a character by the name of Nightshade. This character had a story arc about trying to find an alternate mode they felt fit them best, as for whatever reason they just couldn't find one that they truly identified with for a good chunk of their run on the show. Ultimately, deciding to scan a bat. Now, this character eventually is flat out stated to be non-binary, like identifying as such, after talking with a human character who identifies the same way. Having met characters that either identify similarly or are considered allies, and finally come into grips and becoming comfortable in their own exoskeleton. Still robots after all. And people were complaining, oh, this is woke garbage nonsense. A non-binary transformer should never be a thing. This is ruining Transformers for everybody. Protect the children. They're getting brainwashed.
They're robots.
I'm just sitting here glaring, going, first off, even if they do identify as male or female, they're still robots.
Exactly.
Second, Transformers has been doing stuff like this for legit years. I don't remember seeing very many people complaining when IDW depicted his same-gender couple in Transformers in their comics. Including, but not limited to, a pair of Transformers named Anode and Lug, who both made the transition from male frame to female frame and are in a same-sex relationship. I'm just simply going, yeah, if we could have that for years, why are people getting angry about Nightshade now?
Because the wrong people are paying attention,
Video
that's
by
why.
TJ Omega, who basically explained the entire controversy going on, and I realized, oh, it's just someone stirring up trouble to get views.
I mean, that's what it is. Why are people complaining about this now? Because someone decided to gaslight them and they succeeded. Literally. That's literally what it is. All of this is orchestrated.
And the thing is, like, I'm partially miffed about this because from what little of Earthspark I've been able to see, cursed exclusivity to freaking Paramount Plus, it's actually a good show. Like, they're doing good things with these characters.
Commando. Population 0.
This is probably one of the sweetest Optimus Prime and Elita 1 dynamics I've seen in years.
Alright. Now I gotta somehow get to that main
It's also,
and bring home
like,
the Odin
Optimus
codes for
has
the
delved
Osmers
into full robot dad mode, including but not limited to an overused, flat-out abuse of emojis in his text messages in the universe, like in the show. And it's like,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
that's cute. That Optimus is using emotes in a message trying to be cheerful to somebody.
like they lean full robot dad with Optimus, and it's great.
I love it.
The best part is, it's all genuine. He's genuinely trying. It's not like some ironic, oh, this is stupid, so I'm gonna do this to get a laugh. No, he's genuinely trying. And, like, the voice they picked for Prime kind of works for him. It's different, I got used to it, and it fits the character. Alan Tudyk, I believe the name of the actor was?
Wait, Alan Tudyk?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
He was the bodyguard in one of the Bayverse movies.
He was also in the show Firefly. He was in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the wiki said as much.
He was also the chicken in Moana.
Okay, that's hilarious. I can find the page so I can double check.
Are the emergency lights on? Where is everyone?
Something is wrong. Be ready for anything.
Happy birthday, William.
Here's to you, old American.
Didn't think I'd make it this long.
Well, here's to Brother Blazkowicz, toughest motherfucker I ever met.
Oh no. I have a bad feeling about this.
I originally skipped this cutscene because it started to get a little too ridiculous for my liking.
A bunch of parties.
Yeah, voice actor Alan Tudyk, English.
Yep.
Why he posting out the clarinet too? Like, what the fuck? That just turns what you just did off goes off everything.
Yeah, here we are. Best known for playing Hoban, Washburn in Firefly and its feature film Serenity, as well as Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball, Sonny in iRobot, Mr. Nobody in Doom Patrol, and the titular character of Resident Alien. In the realm of voice acting, he's appeared in Rogue One, a Star Wars story as K2SO, multiple DC Comics productions as Green Arrow, Star vs. the Forces of Evil as Ludo Avarius in King River Butterfly, the Harley Quinn animated series as the Joker and Clayface, and every Walt Disney Animation Studios film since 2012, most notably as King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph, the Duke of Wesselton in Frozen, and Alistair Cray in Big Hero 6.
Damn.
That's a giant entourage, especially in the Disney shit.
Notes. You're gonna love this. In the notes section, Tudyk didn't actually realize he'd been cast as Optimus Prime in Earthspark right away. As he puts it, when he first got the email offering him the role, his brain instinctively rejected the idea that he'd be asked to play Optimus and instead focused in on the
Oh, goddamn! Somebody shit the fuck out of that toilet! Oh, come on!
May preserve your head in this here jar, oh, tire belly.
I mean, on the Optimus Prime page for this, here's a quote. After decades of fighting, humans have reason to fear my kind. We found that visual aids and cheerful slogans make us less scary.
I mean, that's not even wrong.
He's really trying. So here's the description of this Optimus on his page. Long ago, Optimus Prime took up arms to save Cybertron from Megatron and his Decepticons, a conflict that eventually brought him and his followers to Earth. Although he and the Autobots finally blunted the Decepticon advance and shattered their ranks for good, victory left them stranded on a world that turned against them. In his new role as a ghost operative, Optimus now serves as a liaison between humanity and his own kind as he mops up Decepticon stragglers with the assistance of Elita 1 and the repentant Megatron. Spoiler alert. The bumpy post-war transition weighs heavily upon him, as do the occasionally amoral actions of his human colleagues. But Optimus perseveres. Only by bringing the people of Earth and Cybertron together can they forge a united future. And the rise of a new generation of Earthborn Terrans might be the first step on the road to permanent peace. To this end, Optimus tries hard, really, really hard, to be #relatable to the humans, earnestly attempting to put on a non-threatening, lighthearted tone when dealing with them, despite the fact that it smashes headlong into the wall of his natural stoicism and gravitas. He needs handwritten cue cards to remind him to smile. He's given to dad jokes that would make even Alex Malto pause.
Okay, Horton,
His text messages are overloaded with emojis.
And Blazkowicz,
But as laughably cringe as his attempts are, it's all utterly sincere. His desire for peace and harmony with the people of the earth burns deep in the core of his spark. He's honestly trying his hardest, no matter how difficult it is. He wouldn't be Optimus if he didn't.
I tell you, when a man's gone teetotal drunk and disorderly,
Yeah.
there's only one cure. Old Horton's patented hangover blaster.
He doesn't swallow his own tongue. What's in it?
Let me see. Tablespoon ketchup, orange juice, half a tin of anchovies, 2 raw eggs, chili pepper.
And like,
No
wait till you hear some of
surprise.
the other actors in
Haven't
this
seen
show.
Fergus's
Like,
on here or anyone yet.
we've got a few particularly notable people. We've got Danny Pudi, I think, P-U-D-I, voicing Bumblebee. Aforementioned Alan Tudyk voicing Optimus Prime. Sissy Jones as Elita 1. Michael T. Downey as Wheeljack. Martha Marion as RC. Keith David as Grimlock.
Yes!
We've got Rory McCann playing Megatron. Nolan North playing both Swindle and Hardtop. Sean Keenan Reyes playing Soundwave. Tiana Camacho playing Frenzy. Jake Green playing playing a Laserbeak. Ravage doesn't have a name. Starscream played by Steve Bloom, reprising his role from Transformers Prime.
I'm looking for Fergus's arm.
Skywarp and Nova Storm, voiced by Nicole Dubuc, who, by the way, is responsible for the scripts in Transformers Prime that coined Ratchet's "I needed that."
See the loss over there?
Breakdown, voiced by Roger Craig Smith.
I was meaning to give her this.
So apparently he's a hedgehog in another life.
I wanted to say something romantic. Romantic, right?
Tarantulas, played by Alfie Allen. Shockwave, played by Troy Baker.
She's a good lass.
Bombshell and Shrapnel don't have actor names. Skullcruncher and Brawl don't have actor names. And as soon as my browser finishes buffering, I can look at the rest.
It's a symbol of my good intention. I hope you'll consider going out with me.
If it's honest and from the heart, it's all that matters.
Okay. Humans! Puny humans!
Let me
What's up?
set the mood.
Starting with the Malto family, we have Robbie Malto, played by Sydney Michaela. Mo Malto, played by Zion Broadnax. Most of these names are in red, so there's no page for them yet. Dot Malto, the mother, played by Benny Latham. Alex Malto, played by John Briones.
Who do you think I am?
And for Ghost, we have Executive Agent Croft, played by Carrie Walgren. Agent Schloter, I think, played by Mark Evan Jackson. Agent Bala, played by Frizia Bangos. I think that's how you pronounce that. It's a J.
So you saw him.
Agent Bagari, played by Catherine Cavari. Cadet Kwan, played by Sherry Cola. Seriously. Cadet Conway, played by Jason Marsden.
That sounds familiar.
Let me get a look here real quick. Jason Marsden is an American voice actor and screen actor. Among his live-action roles include Alan Quartermain Jr. on General Hospital, Eddie Munster on The Munsters Today, a remake of The Munsters in the 80s, Nelson Burkhardt on Full House, and as a young Burt Ward / Robin in Return to the Batcave, The Misadventures of Adam and Bert.
Huh.
In the world of voice acting, Marsden may be best known as the current voice of Max Goof in a Goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie, and The House of Mouse. Other roles include Duke on G.I. Joe Renegades, Normal the self-proclaimed world's cutest kitten in the Garfield franchise, Richie Foley / Gear on Static Shock, Imaginary Gary, and the second voice of Chester McBadbad on Fairly Odd Parents, Garrett on Extreme Ghostbusters, Aku in the English dub of Spirited Away, Kovu in The Lion King 2, Peter Pan on Peter Pan and the Pirates, Impulse on Young Justice, Tony Teeny in The Weekenders, and the second voice of Vance King on Adventures in Odyssey, and Michael in the ever so disappointing cartoon All Stars to the Rescue.
All you had to do was say Max Goof, and I would have immediately gotten it because, like, I've heard this guy in so many things. I've seen him in live action too. He was in a sitcom.
Marsden was also the voice announcer for Toon Disney from 2004 to 2007, and not only starred in but helped direct and produce the anthology thriller film Locker 13. He is best friends IRL with Wolf Riedel.
Any luck finding Fergus's arm?
Yes.
Ask around.
Because I believe they worked together on a few shows.
So yeah, Max Goof, Duke on G.I. Joe Renegades, Normal, Reggie Foley / Gear on Static Shock. I was honestly surprised to see some of these guys. Oh, but we're not even close to the end with the surprise casting like that. Back to the casting, we have Cadet Rosado, played by Caitlin Robrock. Others, the main human villain, Mandroid, played by Diedrich Bader. Mr. Smelt, the teacher at the school, played by Darren Norris, who previously voiced Knockout in Transformers Prime.
Oh.
Misha, played by Grace Liu. Bruno Lowe, played by Nissan Turner. Stevie, played by Luca Diaz. Sam, played by Alicia Mullally. Taylor, played by Caitlin Robrock. Terrans, we've got Twitch, played by Catherine Cavari. I've sent bear clips of Twitch being Twitch before, so
yeah,
we all know this character is adorable. Thrash, her brother, played by Zeno Robinson. Hashtag, played by Stephanie Lemlin. Jawbreaker, played by Cyrus Arnold. And Nightshade, played by Z Infante. The last category is Others, including Arachnomex, Fluffy Ears, a cow that Twitch befriended, and Quintus Prime, played by Clancy I Am Lex Luthor Brown.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, like, they had some serious star power in this cast.
Bear, Latios.
Yes?
Yes?
Ask if it was... I'm asked if it was okay to duel the both of you, because he's making a weaker deck to duel me with.
I mean, I'm up for it.
I'll duel whenever given the chance.
Keep in mind, I did say he was making a weaker deck.
Okay, quick thing. I clicked Clancy Brown's page here. It also mentions he voiced Silas and Nemesis Prime in Transformers Prime.
Yep.
Okay. Clancy Brown is an American actor and voice actor, frequently cast as a villain due to his imposing stature and deep voice. Brown is well known to sci-fi fans as the sinister Kurgan in Highlander, and also portrayed prison guard Byron Hadley in the acclaimed The Shawshank Redemption, in addition to a plethora of other memorable roles. He has voiced a number of prominent characters in animation, including Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants, Destro in G.I. Joe Renegades, Lex Luthor in several DC Comics-based cartoons and video games, Parallax in the Green Lantern movie, Mr. Sinister in Wolverine and the X-Men, Odin in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes,
Surtur in Thor Ragnarok, awkward, and Savage Opress in Star Wars The Clone Wars. Also, he was once buried in a pet cemetery. He came back to life and killed a guy with a dirt bike. Sometimes dead is better, kids. And the quote under his picture here is, "Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells. Smelly." I know that quote. But then again, it's kind of hard not to. See here. Just clicking random names now. Sissy Jones, American voice actress, best known for voicing Lilith Hawthorne in The Owl House, Fury in Darksiders 3, the Sorceress in the Spyro Reignited trilogy, Delilah in Firewatch, Kaguya Otsutsuki in Naruto Shippuden, Lois Lane in LEGO DC Supervillains, and Abdiel in Shin Megami Tensei 5. I feel like I went too fast.
No, you didn't. It's fine.
Honestly, I liked her voice as Alita when I got to hear her in the all of 2 episodes that actually got to air on
Let me tell you
TV.
about this Uber commander. His real name is Daniel Eckstein, but everyone knows him as the Butcher of Boston.
Michael T. Downey as Wheeljack. It's his first voiceover role.
Oh.
He's known for such on-screen roles as Chicago PD, Nyctophobia, and World's Worst Musical.
I know Chicago PD. My family watches that.
And apparently he has the same mustache Wheeljack does in the actual show. So that's amusing. Martha Marion, voicing RC in Earthspark, is an actress best known on screen as Sarah from The Wave. In the world of voice acting, she's lent her voice to Star Wars Battlefront and its sequel, Far Cry 5, and God of War 2018.
Nice.
It doesn't mention any specific names for the roles. And do I really have to explain Keith David as Grimlock? Really?
No. No, you don't.
Too bad, I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
Keith David is an American screen actor and voice actor. Got his start on television by appearing in 9 episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and has appeared in several high-profile motion pictures such as Michael Bay's Armageddon, as well as many cult classics such as John Carpenter's They Live and The Thing.
Hell yeah!
But is best known for his role as Imam, I think you pronounce that, in the Riddick film series.
I have never... I've heard of Riddick, but I've never heard of that role.
I-M-A-M.
I'm
just assuming it's pronounced Imam. On the voice acting side, he is recognized for such roles as Goliath in Disney's Gargoyles, the title character from HBO's Spawn, the Arbiter from the Halo game series, David Anderson in the Mass Effect game series, Dr. Facilier in Disney's The Princess and the Frog, Sergeant Foley in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Chaos in Dissidia, Final Fantasy and its sequel, as well as narrating commercials for the United States Navy. He is perhaps the coolest man alive today.
He was one half of the greatest fight scene to ever grace the silver screen. I'm talking about the fight scene, the street alley brawl in They Live. It is 15 minutes straight of Keith David and Rowdy Roddy Piper just beating the shit out of each other.
Here's a bit of interesting trivia for you. It's not his first Transformers role. In the 2007 Transformers video game for the live-action movie, he voiced Barricade.
Interesting.
It was originally believed that Keith David would play Barricade in the movie as well as the game. However, his agent confirmed he would only be in the game. You have no idea how pissed people were.
I feel like if he did voice Barricade, in the first movie, like that. Like I will look. I often say that the first movie's good. I would argue great, but I'll settle with good. They did a lot of things right. They did a few things wrong, but overall, decent film, and I feel like it kind of like got the idea across of Transformers. Everything after that, though, drops in quality. But if they had Keith David voicing Barricade, that movie would have been a whole lot better. Even though it was already pretty good.
Speaking of roles that had Keith David would be awesome. Alex Milne said in a Facebook interview that his ideal voice actor for a comic book character, that one being Tarn, is Keith David.
Yes! 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 All of them are yes!
So, for those who don't know, Tarn is one scary motherfucker. He is one of the most powerful Decepticons to ever live.
Arguably more scary than Megatron himself.
Megatron carries one fusion cannon on his right arm. Tarn dual wields those suckers. Tarn is basically the leader of the Decepticon secret police.
The Decepticon Justice Division.
Of traitors and people of interest that he wants bumped off, Tarn and his group make sure they get bumped off.
There are... I will say this right now. There are no survivors of the Decepticon Justice Division.
It took Megatron going all out 110% to finally beat Tarn.
And this was after Megatron changed sides.
At the time, Megatron was tapping into the energy of an artificial black hole he'd been connected to since God knows when. And he still barely managed to pull out a victory. This guy is scary.
Not to mention he has a weird addiction to eating transformation cogs.
This is effectively the equivalent of eating someone's liver.
Basically.
So, moving on. Rory McCann as Megatron. What roles do you have here? Best known for her Sandor the Hound, Clegane in Game of Thrones, Michael Lurch Armstrong in Hot Fuzz, Tennyson Torch in 30 Return of Xander.
Wait, did you just say Lurch in Hot Fuzz?
Yes.
Hold on, because that's one of my favorite movies. I need to remember who that is. Lurch, Hot Fuzz.
The last couple of names mentioned were Tennyson Torch in 30 Return of Xander Cage and Jurgen the Brutal in Jumanji: The Next Level.
Oh, he was the dumb guy. The guy that could only say yarp.
That's Megatron now.
He was a scary motherfucker too. Like, yeah, they kind of played him for laughs, but like when Lurch attacked the main character in his bedroom, like that shit was scary.
Also, for Hardtop and Swindle, considered twin brothers in Earthspark, we have Nolan Ramsey North. You know, Nathan Drake.
Oh.
Among his better-known roles are Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, Desmond Miles in Assassin's Creed, Dr. Edward Richtofen in the Zombies modes of the Treyarch-developed Call of Duty games, the Penguin and Black Mask in the Arkham series,
hell yeah!
Force and Defective Turrets in Portal 2, Ghost in the Destiny game series, Erasmus the Wizard and the Abominomicon in Team Fortress 2, numerous heroes in Dota 2, and, oh yeah, a little-known character you might not have heard of him, Deadpool.
In animation, he's the voice of the Krang in the 2012 TMNT series, Raphael in the 2007 TMNT CGI movie, Snowjob in G.I. Joe Renegades, Cyclops in Wolverine and the X-Men, Superman and his kid clone Superboy in Young Justice, and the main character of Blaze and the Monster Machines. He also appears on screen as Peter Hastings on Pretty Little Liars, Chris Ramsey on Port Charles, and minor roles in shows and films like Modern Family, Star Trek Into Darkness, and the Angry Birds movie 2 as Terrence. He currently hosts the gaming web series Retro Replay, formerly alongside Troy Baker.
Isn't that also where,
Previous Transformers roles include Revenge of the Fallen, the game, Sideswipe, additional voices, Transformers War for Cybertron, Autobot Cloaker, Brawl, additional voices, Dark of the Moon, the game, Major Reynolds, Transformers Follow Cybertron, Brawl, Bruticus, and Cliffjumper, Transformers Prime, Smokescreen, Skylinks, Incidentals, Viacon Trooper number 1, Legacy, Mining Trooper, Rebellion, Viacon Trooper number 2, Synthesis, Transformers Rise of the Darkspark, Bruticus and Cliffjumper, Transformers Titans Return, the Machinima series, Metroplex, and Fortress Maximus as his screams and grunts, Transformers Earthspark, Gwendolyn and Hardtop, Incidentals, Crowd, Secret Legacy Part 2, TV Radio, House Rules, Farmer, House Rules, Ghost Agent number 3, hashtag oops. So yeah, he's been places.
Yeah.
Troy Baker as Shockwave.
That's just a scary thought.
So yeah. Some of his notable animation roles include Greed in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Pain and Captain Yamato in Naruto Shippuden, Excalibur in Soul Eater,
Full!
and Batman in various films and games. He also does extensive work in video games with roles including Snow Villiers in Final Fantasy XIII, Yuri Lowell from Tales of Vesperia, Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4, and Joel in The Last of Us.
Yes. Fun fact.
Baker's also a musician, having released several albums as both as part of a band and as a solo act. He previously co-hosted Retro Replay alongside Nolan North. Proceed.
So, fun fact, Troy Baker and his voice acting co-star in The Last of Us, I cannot remember her name unfortunately. They both appeared in The Last of Us TV show as different roles. Troy Baker appeared as the right-hand man to David, the creepy cultist-like dude that was that kidnapped Ellie in the winter segment of the game, and the woman that voiced Ellie played her mom in a flashback.
Voice roles. For War for Cybertron alone, we have Jetfire, Zeta Prime, Protector, Autobot Heavy Soldier, Defender, Autobot Soldier, and additional voices. Follow Cybertron, Jetfire, Kickback, and Jazz. Same 3 roles for her Rise to the Darkspark. Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015. Whoever the heck Arnold is, Steeljaw, and Vector Prime. Transformers Earthspark, currently Shockwave. And yeah, they definitely went out of their way to make Shockwave creepy and scary. Link.
Yes? I have it on DVD, but it went missing.
Seen it.
Yes.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you like James Bond's actor?
I would give her a solid 7, actually.
Good, because you're gonna hear her a lot in the movie.
Woo!
You know who she's gonna be in the movie?
Who?
The Scarab.
Wait, she's voicing the Scarab?
Yes.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Her and not, Jaime's actor.
Dude, we actually covered this when we dissected the trailer on stream.
Oh, that's right!
Never been more proud to be part of.
Oh, yeah.
Now proceed.
Oh yeah. Blue Beetle is getting help from a Yellow Ranger.
I mean, the tokusatsu, like the feelings of tokusatsu have only just. The tokusatsu vibe has only gotten stronger.
Alright. Years ago, Shockwave served as one of Megatron's top lieutenants during the war. His ambitions, however, eventually outgrew Megatron's once noble goals. To Shockwave, the weak should serve the strong, and the war necessary to enforce the glory of the Decepticon Empire. To this end, Shockwave toils away in his lab, plotting to conquer not only Cybertron, but Earth as well. And Shockwave can back that up, possessing enough strength and firepower to go toe-to-toe with his former commander in robot and spider tank mode. The tool he has instead of his left hand can be used to blast or ensnare other bots, probe their minds, combined with various weapons and traps he keeps up his sleeves. Literally, his left arm is covered in buttons to activate them. Only through Megatron's change of heart and defection was the mad scientist defeated. Unlike most other Cybertronians, Shockwave finds the Earthborn Terrans abhorrent, viewing them as disgusting hybrids and unworthy of being considered Transformers.
Okay, now tell us how you really feel.
So yeah, another case of I feel like I shouldn't have to mention this, but I'm going to anyway because it's fun. Steve Blum. Some of his best-known roles include Jamie from Megas XLR, Tom of Toonami fame, Wolverine in nearly all Marvel and X-Men media since the mid-2000s, Spike Spiegel on Cowboy Bebop, Orochimaru and others from Naruto, and a crap load of Digimon characters. Really, he's a very busy man. Even Peter Cullen has described him as a beast when it comes to voice acting. Voice roles in Transformers goes all the way back to Robots in Disguise 2001 with Darkstream, Fortress Maximus, and Wars.
Holy shit!
Transformers DS, Autobots and Decepticons. The Creatabot, the player character in the Transformers 2007 movie DS game.
We need a game like that again, where you can like create your own character.
Transformers the Game, PSP, as Trailbreaker. Revenge of the Fallen, Xbox 360/PS3, additional voices. Transformers War for Cybertron as Barricade, Dirge, Shockwave, Cliffjumper, and Narrator. This was the first War for Cybertron game, mind you. This would eventually get changed. Transformers Prime, Bomb Shock, Darksteel, Insecticon, Jerky Teen, Mech 1, Mech Commando, Crossfire, Mech Navigator, Operation Breakdown, Starscream, Starscream's Clone, Trooper Sentry, Darkness Rising Part 3 and Part 4, Transformers Prime the Game, Insecticon, Starscream, Viacon Car, Viacon Truck, Dark of the Moon, the game. Crowbar, Wii and DS version. Starscream, Decepticon Trooper, additional voices. Transformers Rescue Bot, Heatwave, Mr. Alper, Mr. Bunty, Ghost Inventor, Perkins, Captain Wild, Mr. Marcello, and Bounce. Incidentals, Lighthouse Keeper from The Lost Bell, Old Man from Countdown, Male Technician from Spacebots, Bad Kids TV voice, Rescue Bots Academy, Darth Vader voice, Endangered Species, Rise of the Transformers Fall of Cybertron, Shockwave, Swindle, and Sharpshot, Rise of the Dark Spark, same lines. Transformers Universe, the MMO that never got to happen, Switchblade. Transformers Devastation, Bone Crusher, Defensor, and Ground Soldier #1. So he was at least one of the Constructicons. Cool. Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015, Aerobolt, Backtrack, Polar Claw, Ransack, and Starscream. Yes, evidently Polar Claw exists in the Prime universe as a Decepticon. Bumblebee movie, Wheeljack. Transformers Earthspark, Starscream, and Soldiers from Warzone. He's appeared at BotCons 2011, 2013, and 2014. When Transformers fan Moosetron was dying of leukemia in late 2013, Bloom recorded a private video greeting for him as a final Christmas present, partially in character as Prime Starscream, one of Moosetron's favorite characters. David Kay recorded a similar video. Yeah.
Damn.
I thought Carrie Walgren sounded familiar, so I decided to click that page, and she's Charmcaster from Ben 10.
Oh my god.
She's also Emma Frost from Wolverine and the X-Men, Enchantress and Jane Foster from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Saturn Girl in Legion of Superheroes, Zatanna in Justice League Heroes, Starfire in Justice League vs. Teen Titans, as well as in The Judas Contract and Injustice 2, and Shannon in OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. In the world of dubbing, she can be heard as Haruko Harahara from Fooly Cooly, Saya Otonashi, I think that's pronounced, in Blood Plus, Takumi Hiragi in Lucky Star, Fu in Samurai Champloo, Kyoko Milchan in Heat Guy J, Ashi in Final Fantasy VII, Lady in Devil May Cry, and Tayuya in Naruto. She can be seen as Mud Girl in a Swiffer commercial. But yeah, Charmcaster was RC in War for Cybertron, the game, not the series. Victorion in Titan's Return and Power of the Primes, and now Agent Croft in Earthspark. Did mention Diedrich Bader before, yes? The guy playing Mandroid?
I think.
Just in case, I'll go over it again. He's recognized in live action as Oswald Lee Harvey in The Drew Carey Show, Lawrence in Office Space, Charlie Davies in Outsourced, Jethro and Jethrine Bodine in The Beverly Hillbillies, Greg Otto in American Housewife, Bill Erickson in Veep, Mr. Geckel in Shazam! Theory of the Gods, martial artist Rex of Rex Kwon Do in Napoleon Dynamite, and Tony Canigula in Lucky Hank. In the realm of voice work, he can be heard in the roles of Batman and a small number of DC properties,
Guy Gardner in Green Lantern, the animated series, Haas Delgado in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Tank the Shredder Evans in Surf's Up, and the Fiskerton Phantom in The Secret Saturdays, Warp Dark Matter and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, the titular android of the Batman Beyond spinoff, the Zeta Project, and the narrator of Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I'm gonna get going back, okay?
Okay.
Honestly, when I read that this guy was Warp Dark Matter, I'm like, I recognize that! I watched that Buzz Lightyear show when I was really little. I also recognize Haas Delgado from Billy and Mandy. And for all the memes he has nowadays, how could I not? But yeah, in Green Lantern, the animated series, he played Guy Gardner. So that's neat.
Alright. Now I know where to find a Battle Walker.
I had mentioned in Prime Knockout was a previous role Darren Morris had, but he goes all the way back to R.I.D. 2001.
Damn.
He played Heavy Load in that series. So he was the dump truck that was a part of the combiner landfill. In the Transformers Armada PS2 game, he played Redler and Cyclonus. In Transformers Prime, he played Knockout and a trooper in Stronger Faster, aka Don't Do Drugs, Kids. Here we go. He's had a number of prominent roles, such as Fox Wood in Team America World Police, Cosmo and Timmy Turner's dad on The Fairly Odd Parents, and Kiadi Mundi on Star Wars Clone Wars, specifically Star Wars Clone Wars, not Star Wars The Clone Wars. There's some similar titles. Oh, here's another one you might recognize, Bear. Mercury Mon and Takakumon.
Oh my god.
He was also Jack Smith in American Dad, J. Jonah Jameson on The Spectacular Spider-Man, Wile E. Coyote in The Looney Tunes Show, Diamond Head in Ben 10 Race Against Time, Batman in DC Super Friends, and Venom in the 2000 Spider-Man game for the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1.
Oh, I remember that.
In the realm of live action, he is familiar to fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000 as the Club Scum MC in The Hobgoblins. Had a regular role in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide as Gordy the Janitor, reprised his role as live action Fairly Odd Parents TV movies. Those do not exist, stop lying to me. And is known to Veronica Mars devotees as Cliff McCormick. Yeah, he has also been places. I once again reiterate, it feels like my childhood was voiced by like 5 people.
Yeah.
Here's some notes on Transformers Earthspark's page here. The series was originally planned to premiere on Nickelodeon first, with international release to follow. At Nickelodeon's Upfront in March 2022, I mean, a newer announcement clarified that the series would premiere globally on Paramount Plus in November of that year. While its presence on the channel itself remained unclear leading up to release, the first 2 episodes also premiered on Nick on the same day, both in the
US and most international markets. I have yet to see any episodes of the show actually air on Nickelodeon since. But on the plus side, a second season's already been greenlit. The tagline for the series is, "What you are doesn't define who you are. We are all more than meets the eye."
Interesting.
One of the character designers for this show is Nick Roche. I think that's how you pronounce it. R-O-C-H-E, Roche. By the way, he works with IDW.
Oh.
He's an Irish comic book artist and writer for IDW Publishing. He is awesome.
Nice.
As for writing, he wrote Spotlight Cop. Figured that one might mean something to you, Bear, since it's your favorite character and all.
Yeah.
He wrote the Transformers Spotlight, Spotlight Cup, Spotlight Megatron, the Transformers All Hail Megatron number 15, Story 1, Everything in Its Right Place. He wrote Last Stand of the Wreckers, co-written with James Roberts.
Yo.
Also wrote Sins of the Wreckers, More Than Meets the Eye Revolution, co-written with James Roberts, Transformers Requiem of the Wreckers, and Last Spot Standing.
What? Okay. All the ones he wrote are like the scariest ones. Or at least the most effed up.
And he's one of the character designers for Earthspark.
Look, as long as Tarantulas doesn't pop out of someone's head, I'm good.
No, Tarantulas is actually quite different from previous incarnations.
No, I just mean that that's a thing that happened in one of the books he wrote for.
Oh, I know it happened. I know it happened. I'm saying I don't think he
I'm officially back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that do something.
Notes! There's a bunch of notes here. The first one says he's admitted to being gay for Hot Rod.
Yeah.
He is also the first Transformers celebrity to have interviewed another Transformers celebrity. That one being Dan Bush.
Fair enough.
On Twitter, while talking about how more than 5 panels average a page is a burden for artists, he strongly indicated that James Roberts' masses of detailed panels are why they hadn't worked together in years, so they are still friends. He's also admitted he's, quote, an asshole to myself, end quote, when he breaks that rule himself in his own scripts. At Auto Assembly 2010, it was discovered that Nick could do an uncanny David Kaye impression. Yes. The way Shockwave was killed in The Legacy of Unicron has haunted him since childhood.
Is that why he made so many fucked up Wreckers comics?
Nick's redesign of the Dinobots in Spotlight Shockwave and Maximum Dinobots has led to his having a pterosaur named for him in 2018. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. by Michael O'Sullivan, one of the hosts of the long-running Transformers podcast, Moonbase 2. Nick's kids' original Transformers characters have gone on to appear in official fiction, beginning with his daughter's creation, Sharpclaw, followed by his eldest son's creation, Vex. His 2-year-old son has yet to meaningfully contribute.
Well, he's 2. Two-year-old can't really do much, you know?
I know. Sharpclaw basically looks like a... If you've seen Steeljaw from Robots in Disguise 2015, imagine a female version of that. In red.
Okay.
As for Vex, I'm not sure which one's which. There's like 5 bots in this panel. Like Sharpclaw, who also appears in Last Bot Standing, Vex was originally created by one of Nick Roche's children, although in this case, his then 7-year-old son. Although earlier versions of the character transformed into aircraft, Roche told him that Vex needed a land alternate mode in order to make his death scene work. For his brief appearance in issue 2 of The Last Bot Standing, Vex uses a completely different design. Rather than a bulky, rust-red transformer with 6 wheels, he's instead drawn with a slender, vaguely feminine body and a purple and yellow color scheme. It's possible that this stems from some kind of miscommunication between artist, colorist, and writer, or simply that Vex's design had yet to be finalized when the issue went to print. Ah, that's him then. Okay. Yeah, Last Spot Standing is a bit... yikes.
Yeah, considering the subject matter.
Character designs for Earthspark includes RC, Bombshell, Breakdown, Robot Mode Only, Bumblebee, Elita 1, Grimlock, Robot Mode Only, Hashtag, Megatron, Seekers, Nova Storm and Skywarp, Shockwave, Soundwave, Skullcruncher, Tarantulas, Thrash Balto, and Wheeljack. So he didn't design Optimus for this one, okay. Must be where the other designer came in. Certainly doesn't have a page.
Should get to work on upgrading my weapons.
We've been going on quite a while.
Yeah, we're almost at 4 hours. I want to finish this mission.
The mission is never finished.
What are you, Batman?
I mean, that's essentially what you're doing.
I'm not. What do you mean? I'm not doing Batman. What are you talking about?
You're doing a mission that you haven't finished yet.
Yeah, but once I finish it, I'm gonna end the stream. You're the one over here saying the mission's never over.
Thanks, Power, and my phone. I'm gonna leave now.
Alright.
Bye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy.
Bye, man. Finally found the battle walkers.
Nice. Should get to work on upgrading my weapons.
I would imagine it being a set of tools. I would imagine it being a set of something else.
They basically make they basically give me an extension. And allow me to reach higher places.
Undercover boss.
Alrighty. That's gonna be it from me today. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92. Joined today by Latios, Taro, and Seki.
Yes.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Super Robot Wars.